And we are live. Hey guys, welcome to Crypto Talk Now with Max and Larry. I am Larry and this is Max. We've got a great show planned for you today. We have a lot to talk about, and you guys want to stay tuned. We're going to talk a little bit about Shibnobi. We both have some different views on that and some views that we agree on. We want to go over that. We want to talk a little bit about Saitama, talk about the Pixel presale. We've got some different things going on, the overall market. We're going to play a little bit of the guessing game. But before we do that, guys, let's say hello to Max. Max, how are you doing today?
Doing real good, Larry. Looking forward to this talk about a few things like Shibnobi and so on. So without further ado, let's get it on.
let's jump into it. All right, so good. So, we had a great show yesterday. If you guys missed the show, you can go back into our channel. I've put it as the welcoming video. So the main video that shows up is yesterday's show. I'm going to try to do that every day. Guys, we had a great show. We talked about the problems in crypto with a little bit of, an apology on my part for Strange Inu, for, me personally promoting it a bit. I apologize that we had to do that, and we're changing things going forward just in an effort to protect viewers because we care about you guys. Now, also go in there because, if you fast forward a little bit, there was a great talk. We had an impromptu talk with Archie Nako. They agreed to come on, and we talked with JP and Tech. They're great guys. Go back and watch that. Max and I are not invested in Archie Nako, but we are taking a closer look. We've talked to some people. I've had a couple people message me afterwards that are subscribers, and they are going to take a closer look. So, we're going to develop some questions. We might do like a full-blown AMA. We'll talk to the team and see what they think. But, it's that time of the show. This might be the second or third time I've done this. I think it was kind of cute, kind of fun at the beginning. So it's called basically, I get to try to maybe trick Max and to see if he can guess what I purchased in the middle of the night because I've got insomnia and I'm trying to figure out something to do. So what better thing to do than to go buy something in the top 100? So Max, can you figure out what I bought that was up on the screen here?
Well, before we get into that, I just want to thank the people who just joined us. I saw a few did. Absolute Crypto says, "What's up, guys? What's up, Absolute Crypto? Glad to have you on board. Glad to see you came to our show." And let me see. Let me take a look at what you might have gotten. So, well, hopefully I can strike 1 for 1 on this time.
Okay.
Obviously, you want to have bought in the green because that's kind of like FOMOing in.
Right.
Oh man, let me see.
Yeah, I don't like to buy in the green. I've done it before, and that's just usually an emotional decision. It usually winds up being a mistake.
Okay, just give me a clue. Is it at least on the bubble chart?
It's on the top 100 on the bubble chart. It might be a little bit small right now, so it's kind of hidden.
A little bit small, kind of hidden, huh?
The bubble is small, yep.
The bubble is small. Oh boy. Give me guys a second. Hold on. Let me think. I'm looking.
I think we might start doing giveaways off of this. If Max guesses it on the first try, eventually when we get a lot of people in here, the giveaway prize might be a little higher for crypto. And then if he gets it on the second or third try, the prize goes down. So that way we put pressure on Max.
I think you're throwing me a little bit off, but I'm going to go with Ape again.
No, man, I was taking a close look at Ape. I'll tell you what, Ape is one that I'm really watching close to try to dive back in because the first time I got into Ape, it was around $13. And I said, when it gets around 13, I'm probably going to jump back in again. And now it's at $12.70. So it looks like to me, Larry, here you go. So it wasn't Ape.
All right. Hopefully it's not covered by a comment. No disrespect to Absolute Crypto. How do you move that? He says Gala. But
yeah,
I'm going to say
I had Gala, but it wasn't that. I didn't buy more Gala.
I know I wasn't trying to guess that. Let me see. And then we got to move on. Man.
I stumped you on this one.
Yeah. Hold on. Just real quick. I'm going to get this. I got to get it.
Luna's looking pretty good right now, being down 9%, really but I didn't buy Luna.
Man. Oh, you know what? I know what it is.
Okay.
You loaded up on Shib because that would have been the smart thing to do because it's dirt cheap right now.
No, I wouldn't be opposed to doing that, but it wasn't Shib. I didn't take enough.
Dude, Shib is like that. Shib is like 0.40 and a 1. One
So
something.
it's not financial advice, but it looks like a good time for most people. I'll have to look at it after the show.
Yeah. All right, man. You got me then. That was my third guess. I'm allowed
Okay.
3. That's it.
Hey,
That's it.
I took your advice. I learned how to use the favorites for Crypto Bubble, so I just put it in my favorites just a few minutes before the show here. And look at what's already in my favorites so far. It's right over here, Crow. Right, so Crow. It was down.
Man. You know, I was about to guess Crow, but I didn't think it was down far enough, or you're going to get back into it. But okay.
I don't want anybody thinking at home that I'm doing this great technical analysis and I'm looking for entry points and stuff like that. I'm literally just looking at the price. And I'm saying to myself, this thing has, tremendous long-term potential. The market cap is 7 billion. Even at 7 billion, I still feel it's undervalued, and the price is around 27 cents. And I got it a little bit more when it was 27 cents because I don't know how long this is going to happen. Now it could go down to 15 cents and I'd be happy, so I could buy more. That's how I feel about. So I'm going to fight Crow right now. Everybody, I hate Crow. It's a terrible investment. Let's drive the price down and I'll buy some more of it.
Yeah, that's one way people look, that they look at it. So, all right.
I'll be right back, Max. Talk to everybody. I'm going to go off camera and bring my dog in because he's barking because he has to hang out with me or he starts to get lonely. So I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, for everybody who's just tuning in, Larry's just stepping away for a moment, and we are taking a look at the overall crypto market. Let's see if I actually share my screen real quick. And with that said, hopefully everybody's doing well tonight, or today/tonight, depending on where you're tuning in from. All right. So, currently speaking, it kind of sucks. We're down to 1.65 trillion as far as the overall crypto market cap. One thing I want to point out, though, is, currently speaking, Steppen is trending. It's up about 10.34%, which is GMT. And a lot of people put a lot of focus on that. And you see some copycats like FitFi. For me personally, FitFi has been more vetted. Again, it's on the crypto.com app. Basically, what I mean by that is it's like a fitness app, basically, that you can use. It's like a rewards app in that regard. So we'll get more into that later. But just keep in mind that FitFi, in my opinion, not financial advice, is a lot better or safer bet to go with, a lot more lower risk. You got to keep in mind, it's already been vetted by crypto.com. Steppen, on the other hand, is pretty much a honeypot. We did a token sniffer analysis, and on that one, it's a honeypot. Literally, you can't sell it. Now, granted, maybe things changed since then, and we could reanalyze it later. But if you're looking to get more into the, these kind of FitFi type things, whether you're going to use it yourself or you just recognize it's a good investment, at the end of the day, go with the one that's a more safer bet. Go with the one that's a more lower risk. And obviously, if it's the saying goes, if it's good enough for crypto.com, that should state something. So just kind of be aware of those things like that. Yeah, GMT came before FitFi, but it's just not, not as good as a bet. Anyway, it looks like Larry's back.
Yeah, I'm back. My dog is happy. We're going to talk about a dog token right now. And I've been debating about whether or not I even want to bring this up because I do like Cliff. I mean, I don't know him personally. I've never talked to him. I'd like to be able to talk to him. And I've been seeing some great things because, the transparency of Shibnobi is great. But at the same time, I got to lower the hammer down a little bit. I got to stir up the pot, rattle the cage just a little bit because I got to get attention. Because remember, this is a low impact channel that plans on having a big impact. That's kind of like our new slogan, that we were christened that. Like Phantom said that we were a low impact channel. But, we're going to jump over and talk a little bit about the past here. So, we both, Max and I, you have Shibnobi still, right, Max?
Oh, yeah. I've had it since the second day that was listed on CMC.
So okay, that's good.
Yeah, I've had it for a long time. But again, I bought a second bag like in January. So one in December and then one later on in January.
Well, I bought in late. So I bought in from peer pressure, from subscriber pressure about December 13th or 14th, something like that. I traced it back. And here's the story. So I'm lighting the fire a little bit because I wanted to do well. And before Max and I met, by the way, guys, this is our 13th stream in a row. We've been doing the Cliff Fettner approach to live streams. We come on here every single night because we realize that's what the algorithm likes. and we're trying to build up this audience. And if anybody wants to come on here that's part of a community or part of the dev team for anybody, they're welcome to come on to the live stream. Just let us know in advance, or if you want to come on like right now, you can. We don't discriminate about who comes on here. It doesn't mean we have to agree with you, but we'll agree to disagree in a non-disrespectful manner, in a respectful manner. So anybody can come on the show. So I want to talk a little bit about the past of this channel. So before Max knew me, Max was a subscriber. He was in the early days, right? Max was like the first 100 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like right around. I believe it was actually 100 even.
Oh, wow, that's cool. All right.
I don't know if the algorithm awarded you and it's just like, boom, this guy's got 100, so I'm going to see it. I don't know, but it's literally 100.
So I just took, literally like 5 minutes to go back and pull up all the Shibnobi videos that I did in the past before Max knew me, when Max was a subscriber and he wasn't part of the show. Now he's a co-host, and we have this great thing going. We have the Max and Larry show on Crypto Talk Now Live. Guys, if you're just wondering, real fast commercial, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays and Sundays. For those of you that wake up a little bit later, we don't have a morning show or anything like that. We might have something like that in June or July. Who knows? Might have 2 shows. But here's the thing, guys. So here's what I'm looking at. So I did this crazy thing. I got this little math cheat sheet right here. I don't remember this stuff, but I did 28 videos, right? Recorded videos. There were no live videos. And there were some things where, like right here, this is kind of a shared video. There was Saitama and Shibnobi at the same time. But for the most part, 28, 25 videos on Shibnobi, talking a lot about Shibnobi. That's 32,382 views. And I didn't take the time to go into each video because it takes a long time. But I remember at the time I was getting a lot of subscribers, a high level of subscribers from these views. So good engagement, probably somewhere around 800 or 900 subscribers because of my Shibnobi videos. So 800, 900 people in this audience here originally found me or liked what I was saying in these videos and subscribed. So they were invested in Shibnobi, thinking about investing in Shibnobi, or just liked the content. So they subscribed. So I reached out to the team, and I was told to contact the marketing person. I think he's the CMO, LSA, because I was concerned about Shibnobi. So Shibnobi has had some struggles. We all know what the chart looks like. This is not me funding my own project, but this is me trying to get their attention, because they kind of pulled a phantom on me in terms of like ignoring me. And I don't like to be ignored, because I have to, put my 2 cents into everything, even if it's only worth 2 cents. So the thing is I messaged LSA and I said, hey, I'm concerned here. I want to help out. I want to do my part. I got a decent amount of views on my Shibnobi videos, like especially like this one here did really well. Got 3,400 views about crypto.com and Shibnobi. And, this one got 4,600, and, all the way down the line, 325. It started to be like a cooler topic. I was kind of forced into it because, people were literally telling me to cover it. So the community was strong. And this was back in December. So I got in because I didn't feel comfortable talking a lot about something without buying in. So I did a video. And then like 3 or 4 days later, I bought into it. So, I have a pretty good history. And then I stopped making videos. And then I said to myself, this is turning into like a business. There's a good amount of people that, follow this channel, and they're real people, real subscribers and real viewers. And I'm like, I'm kind of done making, I don't want to make too many videos for free anymore. So, I was like, I feel like I contributed to investment dollars. I mean, you would agree with that, Max, right? Even if you're a smaller channel and you're getting 32,000 views on your videos, somebody must be investing, watching these videos, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people do view that and so on. I mean, there's obviously people who are going to look at like, yay, I like what this guy has to say and so on. Maybe they take it as investment advice, as the saying goes, even though we officially say, hey, not investment advice, but we realize at the end of the day, some people may go ahead and do that and maybe sway to a certain direction or whatever. But yeah, people do look at these videos and so on. And especially like, I remember was it early January. I mean, I think you end up getting like 1,500 subs in 1 week just over your Saitama content. So
yeah, I was on a roll and I had to stop for some personal health issues. I kind of stopped making videos, and then I started feeling better, and I also got rejuvenated when talking to Max. And so we have this agreement that we're just, no matter what, we're going to come on daily. But here's the thing. So, I could go on to their AMAs. I've listened to the AMAs before, and I kind of lost interest. And I get, right now my job is to build this show up. So I kind of really am involved with that. So I need people out there like, Absolute Crypto. I don't know if you have your own show or not, or if you're on Twitter, but I'm looking for community advocates. So crypto talkers out there that enjoy this show. You like Max. You might not like me, but Max is cool, or whatever it is.
What the heck?
So
Yeah.
I want you
There
guys
you go.
to spread the word to the masses. Go into your Telegram communities and tell everybody that, hey, Larry wants to talk about Shibnobi, but he needs somebody to come on. You don't have to pay for it. You can come on to the live stream. Somebody from Shibnobi wants to come on here and talk, or maybe Teddy Ganja wants to come on. I didn't even think about asking Teddy to come on. Maybe he wants to come on. Another good YouTuber. So here's the thing. Here's the thing that will put me off. All right, I'm going to come out and make the Phantom comparison a little bit. So before Phantom existed, with the problem I had with them, Shibnobi kind of did the same thing to me, but I was a little biased because I'm invested in them first, and I like Cliff and stuff like that. But I will have to say, I wasn't received very well at all in the Telegram, because I went in one night, I was frustrated, and I was very kind, and I said, look, guys, I'm having a problem here. I need some help. I can't, it wouldn't let me swap. I couldn't sell. I said, I'm looking to sell some of my bag, and I want to be able to sell. And I didn't flood the project. I said, look, I'm having some issues, technical problems. And they said, well, what your problem? They said, your problem is that you're trying to sell. That was the first thing that said to me. Now I realize what's going on with these Telegram groups. A lot of times they hire these people and they give them $5 an hour, and they're not crypto guys. They're just, cheerleaders basically. So, they're cheerleaders, and they want to do the right thing. And I don't fault, the community. I don't expect Cliff to, answer me in the Telegram. I mean, that's not what it's about. But I would like to not be ignored. 4 weeks go by, 3-4 weeks go by, and he says, I'm going to check with Cliff. And then I see they hire a bunch of other YouTubers, and these are not big YouTubers. They even have smaller accounts than me. And it's not that I'm hypocritical or anything against the smaller YouTubers. A lot of times that's the way to go, with a whole army of small YouTubers. And I was trying to do the same thing for Shibnobi, rattle the cage a little bit, get things going, stir up the community so that we can get in, because I know they do AMAs every night, but it's nice to get on these other channels. So
I'll take a moment just to look at some of the comments just real quick, because I know we just had a few people just join us. Again, guys, thank you for joining us live today. New time slot. I should say new time slot. Just this is our normal time slot on the weekends, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific. But for instance, Selmo Fudd, he brings up a comment. He says, Shibnobi gaming in 2 weeks, can it help the price? Well, yeah, it can help the price. And, depending on, the reach of that particular platform and that type of appeal, all those things are factors. But if anything, it's more of a catalyst. I would definitely say it's not going to hurt the project any, because, again, it's just, some people say, well, it's more of a, it's going to be more appealing now, it's them diversifying themselves and so on. But at the end of the day, it's just more of a catalyst. And you want to see that. At the end of the day, they don't want to just be the average token project that's meme related. Yeah, you can have a great community behind it, but you got to have, more than one thing. And I definitely believe that they're pounding that home. Now, back to what Larry was saying, I actually have the same problem. And that is, for instance, it might not be the exact same problem. I use the Coinbase wallet. And currently speaking, I'm not bashing Shibnobi. I actually, hell, I got into it, day 2. And then, like I said, got another bag in January. So I would never try to flood the project or anything. But there are some concerns that definitely need to be addressed. And I get it. The AMAs kind of address this. I know Cliff did that thing where it was 15 minutes on the official YouTube. Their official YouTube a couple days ago, and I did watch that, where he basically talks about the whole thing of the difference between like it's going to say the number, and it's going to have an M, which means million. It's going to have the numbers, and then it's going to say B, which means a billion. And it's just the way the zeros are listed. I get all that, but at the end of the day, if the average person isn't engaging right with us here or the AMAs, et cetera, it's going to be a problem. Because at the end of the day, people should be able to take profits off the top. So if you can't take profits off the top, and the thing ends up being, basically you can't sell, what does that tell us? Well, we know that's considered a honeypot. And it's just like, you know, I'm sure they'll work it out. I have faith to believe that they will. But it is, I'll be frank, that's annoying. And, you know, I currently have the same problem with Volt. I used to think, man, this is only me. You know, and it's like, no, it's not only me. If like I had an IT background for 20 years, and I'll wrap this up because I want Larry to jump back in here. And that is this. At the end of the day, if you have an error with any app and that app is popular, it's not privatized and it's public, that means somebody else has the same problem too. Currently speaking, when I've migrated to Volt V2, it basically states that I'm like worth half of what Elon Musk is. I'm a multi-billionaire. And then now it's the same thing out of nowhere. I didn't migrate to any V2 because there is no V2 for Shibnobi. But again, it states that I'm a multi-billionaire. Yeah, did I try to go in and see, you know, hey, man, look at me, you know, try to convert it? Yeah, I did. Can't convert it. But I can convert Shiba Doge. So these are just little things. I'm sure they'll work it out, but it's annoying to say the least. I hate being, you know, that guy who has to go on Uniswap and then from Uniswap find out how much my stuff is, you know, my tokens are really worth. Average retail investor is not going to do all these things. But at the same time, I get where they're coming from. Well, the average retail investor isn't investing in something like this. But yeah, you say one thing, you want to attract those retail investors. And then on the other side, you're like, well, you know, the average one's not going to do this. So it's like, come on. You want to add to this, Larry?
Yeah. So before I jump back into Shibnobi, and I agree 100% what you're saying, it's a big concern. You have to be able to sell, and you have to be able to, you know, control your wallet and understand what's going on with your investment, whether it's Shibnobi, Volt, or whatever. But before I get into Shibnobi, I just want to acknowledge what Absolute Crypto said earlier. He said he's looking to, you know, start his own YouTube channel. Now I can't find the comment, but I have him up there still. He's saying it's a little confusing. It seems like he's agreeing with us. So, you know, when you're ready to start your channel, or before you want to start your channel or whatever, you want to come on now, you want to come on a week from now, you're welcome to come on, because I'm a little bit biased towards the smaller YouTubers. I'm talking about smaller YouTubers in terms of subscriber account, because look, if there's 12 or 15 YouTubers banding together, and there's nothing against any of the big YouTubers, I like a lot of them too, but 12 or 15 smaller YouTubers that are getting a bunch of views is a little bit stronger, because you have a lot of different opinions. So if 12 videos are being made or 12 people are talking about something, it's a little more powerful because there's different views going on. And there's a lot more views too as well. So that's a pun, right? So different viewpoints, and also a good amount of views compared to some of these big YouTubers. Look, we get views on this channel that are equivalent to some people that have 20, 40, 50,000 views, you know, sometimes even 100,000 views. We were hanging, you know, right there with everybody, with Saitama and even Shibnobi. So that's what I'm trying to just, you know, light the fire. Look, I'm talking to Cliff Fettner right now. If he's watching this, he's not going to watch it because we're low impact. We're a small channel. But somebody from the community is going to watch and go back and say, Larry was saying this, he's shooting his mouth off again. That's what I'm trying to do. Right. Because I'm talking to Cliff or anybody from Shibnobi like a good friend. Hey, if I'm just saying to you, you know, look, everything is great and, you know, stuff like that, I'm not being a real friend. So I'm considering Shibnobi, the community, still friends, but I had to point out some bad things. And, you know, so going back to the Telegram, you know, I'm really concerned because it's not just me, like Max is saying. I didn't even know Max had trouble, you know, with the selling thing. And other people, I'm sure they're watching this channel and other channels may have some of the same concerns. And it's not because
let me just inject it real quick right there. Speaking of people watching, we did have quite a few people tuning in, and we just want to welcome you guys on this. We're still talking about Shibnobi. Just get right back to what you're saying, Larry, just in a moment. So, for instance, I want to address this real quick before you bring up what Selmo Fo was saying. Cody, you know, or if it's Code or Cody, I apologize. His question is, or it could be her. I do apologize. I don't know. Do you two have any ideas and thoughts on Luffy Tokens? Some people call it Luffy. And I do want to address that real quick because it's the same issue to a sense. We were bringing up Volt V2 and so on, and there is that V2 migration with Luffy, and a lot of people are also, again, having problems with that as well. So I didn't mean to cut you off, Larry. I'm going to get back to what you're saying.
No, you're fine.
I just wanted to address that, you know, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. I did see there was quite a few more people who joined us. Thank you for choosing us to join us, basically. We realize that there's other streams that you could join us, so on. So, I can't thank you guys enough in regards to that. But yeah, this is a hot topic. I mean, Shibnobi, some of these other ones. So we're back to you, Larry.
No, keep continuing to cut me off because it becomes a conversation and everybody likes that. So here's the thing. So we're moving forward back to Shibnobi. We're jumping around. It's good. Everybody's getting, I've seen in the comment section, there's some people that have concerns, kind of match up a little bit what we're talking about here. But, back into the Telegram, I'm saying to this, like, hey guys, there's nothing wrong with selling. I have to be able to try to do a test sell. So last night, things are going crazy. I can't sleep again. I'm buying Crow and I'm looking at my Trust wallet because that happens to be one of the ones that's on my phone. And all of a sudden I see that, my small bag of Shibnobi has quadrupled, right? It's like $2,000. And I'm like, holy crap, I got to hurry up and cash out something. I'm going to take out, maybe $1,000 or maybe $1,500. I'm not a big holder of Shibnobi, right? But I consider myself, somebody that has brought in some big holders, potentially people in the audience, right? So here's the thing. So I'm trying to sell this thing and it's not letting me swap. So I'm like, well, it's like they said in the Telegram, it's a Trust wallet thing. They told me this thing a few weeks ago. It's a Trust wallet issue. Okay, so fine. So now I said, you know what? I also have a MetaMask on that same phone because I have like wallets all over the place. I'm disorganized. So I also believe in safety in numbers and I like to spread it out because if one wallet gets hacked, I have like a bunch of other wallets. So I send over to one of my MetaMask wallets because I can see that I have, just 2 wallets on my phone. Or I have crypto.com and other things like that, but I have like 2 decentralized type wallets, MetaMask and Trust Wallet on there. And I send it over to MetaMask and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to cash out on that. Well, it wouldn't let me swap over there. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go down. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm going into the studio. I bring my laptop with me. I plug it in and turn it on. I said, you know what? I'm going to hook up to Uniswap and I'm going to do that. Let's swap this thing out. Let's see what it's really worth. Well, you know what? My $500 looked like $2,000. And I guess CoinMarketCap had a glitch. I understand CoinMarket is another issue. We could trash. I don't even care if we trash CoinMarketCap because they got some real issues. And I hope that CVC comes in here and kicks their tail across, kicks them right off of it makes them irrelevant. Like YouTubers always talk about it. I do too. All right, let's check CoinMarketCap. I don't even like looking at it anymore because half the time
that's a good thing. I'm sorry. I'm just going to inject this real quick.
Yeah.
It's good. I love how you brought up CVC because here's the thing. All this trouble that everybody's having when it comes to Shibnobi, when it comes to maybe Volt, or for instance, with Code Core, for instance, is stating with Luffy. It's like if CVC gets this whole thing down with the live stats that reflect all this. I mean, for instance, they preach the model of being a one-stop shop for that type of platform, right? Obviously, the CoinMarketCap style of format / CoinGecko and so on. If they get that thing down in which these things can have the live token count instantaneous and people don't have to thumb from, CMC and thumb through, DEX tools and jump from one platform to the other. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of us aren't here on the weekend. We're at work. We might even work the weekends, right? A lot of us do. We don't have time to just be thumbing through all sorts of different ones. You and I have the time. Some of the guys that was joining our stream tonight, by the way, thank you for joining, may have the time. But the point is, if CVC, I should say I think they're going to get that down. They get that down, you go to there and it lists your actual tokens and you're able to see them, what they're really worth. That's an absolute game changer because it's going to put pressure, of course, on the mainstream ones to do what? Show the right listing. And if anything, I mean, you want to talk about price action. You want to talk about catalyst. That's where it's at. So, how long is that going to be available? Of course, I don't know. But I think that was something that was brought up. And it's just getting it all sorted out and so on. So I understand everybody's frustration. I'm in the same boat with you guys. I do a similar model with my wallets. Is Larry, for instance, for my rule of thumb basically is this, if it's a Binance Smart Chain project, I'm going to have on my Trust wallet. If it's an ETH project, I'm going to have my Coinbase wallet. Obviously, Larry does what? MetaMask and Trust wallet. So, I mean, you may be similar if you're watching. But nonetheless, everybody has the formula that they do. But at the end of the day, it's safe to say we just want everything to be reported accurately. And I understand it's outside the dev's hands in some cases. And it's not necessarily, I'm not saying it's Cliff's fault from Shibnobi. I'm not saying any of that. But at the end of the day, if we could have one platform, right? For instance, like CVC, I know I keep pounding it home, and I don't represent CVC or anything like that. I think the concept of what they're trying to do is going to solve a lot of problems. And then when it does, imagine not just huge catalyst for that. You should see an uptrend in regards to all that. So I'm going to bounce it back to you, Larry. What do you think of that?
What I think right now is coin market cap is like, being a caveman. They need to get kicked back to the Stone Ages or whatever it's called back in the prehistoric period, because they don't even belong on the internet if they're going to continue this garbage. And then, blame it on glitches and stuff like that, and people not listed in the top 100 because we don't even know if they can verify the coin.
I can agree more.
We can't verify the market cap, but all right, instead of focusing on we can't verify it, how about you figure out how to verify it? Everything is like this and that.
You're absolutely right. It's kind of like this, right? Some of you guys should know, like, for instance, I come from a gaming background. For instance, I'll just be honest, I'm a hardcore gamer, right? The way I look at it like this, when it comes to CMC, and maybe you guys will agree or disagree, that's fine. It's kind of like this. Take a EA or Activision, right? They're AAA game developers, right? Well, in the crypto space, we should be looking at CMC as being like what? The AAA, listing, right? They are supposed to set the standard. If you're going to have somebody else like CVC come in and do, like, as I always say, a Karate Kid sweep to the leg and take them out, what do you think is going to happen for projects like CVC? That's what I'm talking about, but it shouldn't have to be like that. Larry is right. You guys should be the standard, because at the end of the day, you guys have a whole staff of people that you're paying and so on. Not to say that, all these other projects don't have a whole staff and doing their own thing, but it's, again, that AAA approach. You guys are the standard. Why aren't you guys getting it done? And clearly they're not. They're not getting it done on a global scale, them as in coin market cap. And on top of that, they're not getting it done as far as what? You got all this politics and as far as the project is concerned. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. For instance, as we know with Saitama, I'm not going to talk long on Saitama, but the whole thing of, like, many times they should have been in the top 100, but they're never going to be in the top 100 because all the politics behind it. Let's get all the politics out of here. Let's have we're crypto, for crying out loud. We're all about decentralization, taking the politics out, because everything's on the blockchain. It's supposed to be transparent. So it's just, I could go on and on and not. So back to you, Larry.
Well, I'm going to go on and on because that's what I do. I'm going to rant because it's a part of the rant section or the segment or whatever you want to call it. But I will say this, coin market cap, it gets a little bit lonely on the top. I think they lose their hunger, their drive. They're connected to the big daddy in the space, which is, Binance. So maybe they don't care. They're just too big to fail. But I'm going to tell you something. This is a free market. And when somebody comes in like CVC, if they can do a good job, I'm not saying that they can do it or not, but they're on the right path and they can just knock it off and have a better app, then, we're not going to be talking about CMC in like a year from now or whenever they come out with something better. But let me just get back to this. So you're going to play a little bit of a guessing game because it's what I like to do. I like to be, just challenge you. I have to challenge your guessing ability. So here's the thing.
Sure.
So $2,000, I'm on Uniswap. I'm getting excited. I'm going to cash out half of it, $1,000, right? And I know that this is not accurate because it's coin market cap and it's never accurate. Right. So I'm like, what am I going to get here? All right. So my original investment's around 500 is what it's showing in the wallet yesterday or the day before. So I'm like, all right, I'm up to 2,000. What's it really going to show? Because every time I try to cash it out, it's never, it's peanuts. So it's showing me $60. So my $2,000, I'm hoping it's at least 500. It's $60. So I don't even cash it out because I'm not paying $28 in gas fees to get $62 back. And not even that because of the gas fees. So I don't even know what the heck I'm looking at. And I don't even know what's causing the problem. And I can even add that high with the amount of tokens I have. It's 31 and whatever it is. I don't even pay attention. I just look at the dollar amounts because I can't even say these digits past, when it gets past a trillion, I don't worry about what it's called. Sextillion, quadrillion. I don't even worry about that type of stuff. I look at the dollars and cents, US dollars. So I'm just like, at this point, my dog is going crazy. He thinks I'm stressed out, but this is just fun. So when my dog gets stressed out, he starts doing this thing with his paws. He starts scratching the ground. My dog's a big dog. He's 96 pounds, but he doesn't like to see me get upset because he's like, oh man, Larry's upset. Someone's bothering him. I got to go, I got to either pee on his leg or bite his leg. I don't know. He likes to, stick up for me. All right. So here's the thing. So he needs to calm down out there. Maybe I need to shut the studio door. All right, so he's scratching up the kitchen floor. The thing about it is this. He's mad about CoinMarketCap. He's probably hearing me get excited about Shibnobi. Shibnobi needs to solve this problem because, you know, there's the uncertainty part of the FUD, the FUD part, right? So if you got people that are concerned about selling and they got, you know, they're looking at their wallets and they don't know what the heck's going on, they turn them upside down and it looks even, you know, if I got to take my wallet on my phone, turn it upside down and things look better, you know, than right side up, then what's going on here? Like, it's supposed to be simple math. I can't understand what's going on. 500 turns into $60, $62, you know, 2,562. And you're like, what am I even doing here? So this is what's happened. So I'm, you know, trying to reach out to the team. I'm not going to go into their Telegram. I don't have time for it. You know, I'm a little bit aggravated and I want them to come to me because it works better, because I want to show them that this audience carries some weight. I want the audience that is here, the 800 subscribers, or 900 subscribers that subscribe to this channel because of a Shibnobi video, to go into their Telegram and to go into their AMA and say, look, Larry's inviting you to come on here with Max and Larry for free. We want to just talk to somebody. It doesn't have to be Cliff. I mean, it can be. I mean, we want to talk to someone from the community. We're not going to be up here beating them up. They're adults. We're adults. We just want to ask questions because our audience deserves the answers.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that approach. You know, my thing is this: it's like, and I've seen this a few times as of lately. I'll see big influencers who will enter other telegrams. I'm not going to mention the names. I'm just going to state that this happened this morning. And you know, I know we just lost Larry, but he's probably coming right back. He's probably just letting his dog out or whatever. And with that said, it's just like, you know, you will see them approach, for instance, a CMO, chief marketing officer, whoever. And then with that said, it's like they're able to do their approach because what? The subscriber count, you know, it's like at the end of the day, everybody's trying to get their start doing something. Rome wasn't built in a day. This particular show wasn't built in a day. And then like I'll try to contact the same people. I'm like literally right after that person, and I'm just trying to, you know, have my questions asked or some of my concerns and so on. And you know, basically it's like, oh, you're from such and such show. Well, you know, they won't even say anything back, and it's just because they instantly do what? They look at the subscriber count and so on. Boom, instantly banned. It was just like, you know, I was just like, was that really necessary? But you know, I'm not going to even mention that project. I'm not going to even give them a chance to get more publicity. I'm kind of upset with them because I covered them a few times in the past, but I don't know. It's just kind of like the double standard, if you will. You know, yeah, one guy's got like, you know, 50,000 subscribers or 200,000 subscribers. You're gonna listen to that guy, but you know, the guy who is just trying to get some engagement, and you're just gonna backdoors, you know, slap him. And it's just, you want to talk about disrespect? That's disrespect. But anyway, welcome back, Larry.
That's the way the world works. You know, everybody, it's like a pissing contest. We got to see how far we can piss. And everybody measures it with subscriber count, but they don't look at the views and they don't look at the interaction, and they don't understand that there's, you know, a handful of whales that watch this channel. And we know this because they call us and talk to us on the phone, or they're chatting with us in Telegram, whatever it may be. Anybody can call us on the phone. So I'm going to respond to some of these comments here and answer some of these questions real quick. So look, the links are in the description for our Telegram, Absolute Crypto. It's a good question that you asked. And mine is Crypto Talk Now 21. Over on Twitter. What's yours called, Max? What's your Twitter handle?
I put mine in the chat. It's at DPGmaximus. Because I mean, the reason why it's not Maximus Crypto is just, you know, you guys know, or if you're new, I have two separate YouTube channels. I have one for gaming, I have one for crypto. So it's just at DPGmaximus. So
if you guys are not following Max on Twitter and myself, go ahead and do so. We're going to post some more updates on there. And sometimes we don't have time to drop a video, or it's not during the stream. There might be something important going on. We'll put that information in Twitter first. So here's the thing. So I'm going to go way back to Samer. You know, he's saying that, you know, Shiv Vader is mooning. I saw that on another channel. You know, that's like a degen play. Nothing wrong with that. Just, you know, be careful with that. It's not something that I'm in. I know a bunch of guys are getting into it, but, you know, just be careful because, you know, these are degen type things. We all understand that. People watch this channel are smart. There's people that watch this channel are much smarter than me. I mean, that's for sure. I have a TikTok clips that are better than the long form or YouTube ones. You know, TikTok is a great platform. You know, I'm just not into it as much because I want to be able to understand the technology a little bit better. And the guy that helps me out with tech is a friend of mine. He's coming over tonight, and we're working on some different things. We got some good things for the stream. It's going to get even more professional, more of a studio feel. We're going to have some technology that's going to help us stay on track because my brain jumps all over the place. And this is right here. Of course, man, we all want that. Well, that's thank you for that comment. I know you guys are talking amongst yourselves. DGH official. Amen. Not cool. Here's my Twitter. Phantom. Okay, let's see. The Phantom APY is unreal. I know they got some good API going there. I'm going to, since you mentioned Phantom, I'm going to jump over and take a look because I kind of forgot about them, and then it says, it seems like they were one of the few coins that prepared to win during the bear market, only staking coins. All right. So my issue with Phantom is I think that's great that they have the staking rewards for the holders. I'm out of Phantom. I sold out of it. I think you guys know that. Okay. My problem with Phantom is there's $3 million and they raised from the pre-sale, right? 1,033 ETH, right? $3 million. And then they had some more money come in with the marketing wallet and dev wallet, whatever you want to call. So, there's a 20% tax on sales, 10% going in. That's two things. Like, number one, they need to eliminate their buy tax right now, at least temporary, to get people to buy because no one's buying. I don't even have to look at the chart. I'm going to look at the chart just to see, but I'm guessing that no one is buying. Not enough people. So look, not enough volume. Here's my problem with Phantom. Phantom needs to open up, take their hand and go into the marketing wallet and take that money and buy some promotional videos from some big YouTubers or an army of smaller ones. I mean, I'm not going to beat the dead horse, but I will just out of curiosity because, they're the ones that I like to have, the impact on the most because I'm not trying to hurt the project, but I do want to still continue to put the pressure on them because I know of at least 3 people that are subscribers to this channel that are still invested. And I know that a couple of them are staked in the project. Let me see if I can find, I'm having a little trouble. I guess I don't have it in my favorites anymore. Did they disappear?
No, you didn't have, you weren't putting the ad. That's right.
There it is. All right. So I clicked it on the favorites and then, oh wait. All right. Here we go. So yeah, here's the chart. All right. So forget the chart. Let's look at the numbers. Well, you know what? The market cap went up a little bit. It's at 2.04 million. But come on, guys. $8,000. That's like buying a used. That's like buying. I don't even know what. That's buying a used Honda. That's what the guy from Doge did. He bought himself a used Honda, $8,000. That's not any type of volume to write home about. And we didn't even get into the volume about Shibnobi. That's way down, but not $8,000. This is a new project. There should be excitement around it. There's no excitement around this token. So, you can throw in everything into the staking pool, but if the price is not moving up, what are you accumulating? You're accumulating a depressed asset.
I mean, based on what you mentioned to me, like you reached out to them and so on, and they stated, who was it? Was like, hey, bro, you just gotta be patient, man. Like, you gotta understand, like, we gotta go out there and hire the people, man. It's like, what are you doing? Is your ad for, hiring, in the classifieds? Was the 1990s? And it's like, bro, you gotta be patient, man. Like, we got a PR team, we got a marketing thing going on. It's like, all right, well, surf's up, dude, and whatever.
So here's the thing. So let me just get back to, I'm going to echo what, and I appreciate that, the impression of the Telegram person, but you're being you sound a little bit too intelligent for what I heard. So if the comment that I got, the comment that I got from the Telegram was just, an asinine one. It's just, I don't even know how to say it, like just pure stupidity. Like asinine, like, you can't get any dumber than that. Like Dumb and Dumber, like 4 or whatever. What's Dumb and Dumber? They got 1, 2, 3 movies. This is Dumb and Dumber, like 4, 5, and 6 combined. It's just like that much level of dumbness. So look, he's telling me that investing in marketing and paying these YouTubers, getting some new people on board, and paying people on Twitter that are big, much bigger influencers than me. They got a couple 100,000 people following them. And all they talk about is crypto, whether it's a lady or a guy, it doesn't even matter. All right. And some of these, by the way, some of these profiles with these, beautiful women, they're not real people. They are real people, but they're just, they're dudes. But I mean, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, they got influence, right? And some of them are cartoon characters and avatars, but they got influence and they don't pay for this stuff. And they're saying to me that I'm being impulsive. Well, of course I'm being impulsive. I'm not really, I'm trying to light the fire. It's not impulsive. I'm having a sense of urgency here. This is the way we get people involved in these projects. And they're telling me it's stripper money. Oh, we got to rush. And it's like going to a strip club and throwing money at a stripper. Okay, so YouTubers are strippers now. The people that talk about crypto are strippers. They're not worth anything. And, nothing against people that are strippers, but that's just a stupid comment. That's like saying that we're blowing the money away like a drunken sailor. And that's not what this is about. This is like, oh, we need to plan. Dude, you had 3 months to plan. You told me you've been working on this project for 3 months. And now it's been about 4 months.
Maybe you're onto something. Stripper Inu. How about that?
There you go.
Stripper Inu. Bunch of, I don't know.
I think it's an insult. It's an insult to strippers. The way he said that, I'm throwing money at strippers, it's just, it's degrading that. And, who are these people that are running these telegrams? That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm making a little bit of a comparison. Now, look, I'm going to be fair. I mean, Shibnobi is not anywhere near on the level of stupidity that I saw what was going on with Phantom. And then they have the nerve and audacity to sit here and try to tell the viewers that they're deleting the comments like, hey, Larry's just trying to do the right thing. You're misinterpreting what he's saying. You're misunderstanding his approach or his point. He's trying to get things going for us so that people actually purchase the token beyond the pre-sale. They ran out of buyers. It was oversold. So they're telling them that. And in a uncensored platform that they're trying to create, there's already censoring people and deleting comments about anytime the word Larry comes up. They probably have it in their bot system. Well, Larry, okay, delete. Larry, bot, delete. So they're telling them this type of stuff. And then they have the nerve and audacity that I was getting to. And they say, well, we're not worried about that. We're not worried about that channel. That's a low impact channel. So we're going to take that and run with it. And, that's a chip on my shoulder. I'm going to prove that we are a low impact, low subscriber count channel. If we don't ever gain another subscriber, it doesn't even matter because we're going to have an impact and we're going to do some things that are going to get some people's attention. And they're going to go out there and they're going to be like, you know what? We shouldn't have called them low impact because the low impact channel is going to have a high impact.
Well, I think we're making an impact personally. Whether anybody wants to say it's low impact or whatnot. I mean, thanking you guys for joining us on our discussion in regards to all of this, whether it's Phantom and et cetera, et cetera. I just want to read a few of the comments right here. For instance, Matt, for instance, he says, for projects like Apix, you do need to be involved with liquidity. What are you guys doing? Not particularly aware of that project. Might have to look into it more. Selmo Fudd, who's a regular, by the way, shout out to you, Selmo. We always appreciate you supporting the channel. I don't know what you're stating there, but I know this much. Back to Jack's comment, I'm sorry. He says, do you stake Hex by chance? If so, all Hex stakers can claim free Pulse Dogecoin, aka $PLSD is actually good money, price skyrocketed. Now, I remember the other day you were always talking about, Larry, you're always talking about Hex and so on. Hex has been on my watch list for quite some time. I do still think it's a good project. I just haven't gotten into it yet because it's just, again, I mean, my portfolio is already really, really big. And, well, I should say really, really big. Some of you guys might have a bigger portfolio than me. I mean, mine, I'm basically in about 36 different projects. But again, for me, it's just, I got to take like 10 and I'm really looking at closely and I condense it to 5 because at the end of the day, I mean, it's just like, I have to narrow down my selections. Not stating you guys have to do the same thing, but that's where I'm at because, I'm going on, I don't know, almost 2 years as far as being really into crypto. But what are your thoughts on that in regards to some of that staking that Jack was mentioning with Hex?
With Hex? All right. So I'm not an expert with Hex. I made some money with Hex. I regret selling out of it because I was just swing trading it. And I know it's really a long-term hold because they've got a great feature with their with the Hex staking. Now, let me just say this. The reason why Hex is where it's at, why there's a ton of people invested in it, is because of one reason, in my opinion, is because Richard Hart, that runs the whole thing, he's a developer, right? He's a marketing genius. Okay, he's somebody here that, he would never come on this show. And I'm saying that, in a respectful manner because it's too small right now. There I will say that the show is too small. Okay, but listen, this is what we want to happen. We want people to go out into the Telegram groups and into the community of Twitter and tell people we would love to have some Hexicans come on here and educate us more about Hex, because it is something that I want to jump back into and hold on to long term. I could say that without even digging into it too deeply. And I can see, the passion that, whether you love Richard Hart, he's kind of controversial, right? He's a flashy guy. He's got $9 million worth of watches. He's got a nice Ferrari and all this type of stuff. And a lot of people don't like him and this and that, but, he's flamboyant. But this is the reason why people are invested in that token, because he gets people's attention. He's flamboyant. He wears, $10,000 outfits. He's got all these fancy clothes, and he says some crazy off the wall stuff. But you know what? The guy is, extremely highly intelligent. He's very intelligent. He's a marketing genius. So we want the people from the community of Hex to come on here. We want you to educate us and our viewers. Look, we're the tip of the iceberg. I say this all the time. Don't come here talking to impress Max and I, and come here talking to impress the people, the heavyweights that are in this audience. There's people with real money here that come here and watch us. I know people personally that are successful with investing in stocks, people that I actually know in real life, and they watch this channel because they want to learn about crypto. They don't understand crypto. And,
and guys,
I'm an expert, but the people we bring on here should be.
And guys, we don't just cover, meme/community driven projects or anything like that. In fact, if we got time, we're going to talk about, for instance, a new thing. So for instance, a couple of days ago, I was talking about Anchor Protocol. And at the time, that was a top 100 coin project in which you could pair that basically with your stablecoin UST. And you can earn currently speaking, about 18% on your stablecoin. Well, check this out. The cool thing is this. Maybe you guys have heard of this. And there's another guy who recently covered it, was a Max Maher. And basically, Near Protocol's got this thing, and I got to look more into it, and it sounds really appealing. Get this. Stable coin, you pair it up with the Near Protocol, and supposedly you can earn up to 30% on your stable coin. That's just amazing. So I myself, I'll just tell you this much. I'm going to research a little bit more. At the end of the day, like I've always said, all of us, we got to have some kind of exit plan at the end of the day. And 30% on stable coin, if that ain't appealing to you, what are you doing?
Let me jump in here and just respond to Jack here. I'm going to read his comment. I'm going to respond to it. And I don't care if you don't like it, but this is the God's honest truth. Jack says here, to be fair, guys, Phantom isn't a meme coin. Okay, fine. It's not a meme coin, whatever. It's got a character of, I don't even know what it is. I agree. It's not a meme coin. All right. They have a tech firm that is social Web3 metaverse play. All right. So they're, dev.pro. Look, you're talking to somebody who did 3 videos on Phantom. I took them off because I got pissed off with the way that Telegram treated me. And, it's not just about me, but I represent a bigger group of people that are watching this channel and other people that watch other channels. Okay. So Facebook was very frugal early on and took years to confirm any move they make. Okay, fine. Forget about Facebook. Facebook has part of the reason why they call themselves Meta is because everybody was down on Facebook. So let's not even compare them to Facebook. Let's compare them to Twitter. Let's compare them to somebody that, is a heavyweight in the social media space. Let's talk about Twitter because it's a heavyweight in this space of crypto. All right. And now they got a big guy. I don't even know. I think he's the richest guy in the world. Maybe not. What is he worth? Like $300 billion. Elon Musk. Let me just ask you one thing.
264
Why really got
billion.
me fired up? Now, this is really firing me up now. Here we go. This comment fires the heck out of me. How in the world do you think that Elon Musk sold Teslas? How does anybody even know about a Tesla? What do you think, Max? Let me ask Max. How in the world do I know about buying a Tesla? I don't own a Tesla. I think it's a great product, but how the heck does anyone know to buy it?
Well, because it was just like anything, because it was well marketed. That's a no-brainer. Yeah.
It was well marketed. It was
well
marketed because it was.
I'm glad you brought that. I'm glad you brought that up because I'll come back with that. So obviously Tesla was well marketed. Here locally in the Phoenix area, I'm sure there's maybe a couple people in this, on this live stream that they're aware of this. LEO Motors, they promised this big, huge hype, and boy, did they build it up. They have pre-sales, in relation to this. I'm glad you brought all this up. So, pre-sales going on for a while. I think this dates back to like maybe 2015, 2016, maybe even earlier. And a lot of people invested it, and they did a lot of pre-sales and so on. And with that said, it was for this concept car, if you will. Sorry, I'm getting cut off by dogs and so on.
No, you're fine.
I'll return back to it. Hold on.
Yeah, let me just follow up on what we're saying here, and we'll go back to Jack's comment. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Look, nobody's saying that Phantom can't be a great social media platform. Okay, they can be a wonderful platform, and never mind the fact that they censored the hell out of me. They censored the heck out of me and the viewers that were supporting me because we went in there and I tried to rile everybody up. I wanted to be a voice for the people that are invested in this token. And the next day that they asked me to come on their whatever they want to call it, their AMA, their voice chat, and I'm running a show with Max here, and I can't go over there, and I don't know how to connect to it while I'm live. I'm not that tech savvy, and I admit that. I unlike some people, in this world, admit my limitations, my strengths and weaknesses, and my biggest strength is my marketing knowledge. I understand what marketing is. I understand what sales is. I understand what advertising is. Those things are all different but related to each other. And if you're not somebody that's charismatic like Elon Musk and you're out there all the time and you've got whatever you have, 65 million people following you on Twitter, I understand the devs are not like that. They need to hire somebody that is, or a group of people that are. But don't just sit around and say we've got great staking rewards, because everybody has great staking rewards, or a lot of people do. And if you don't have any money invested in it, it's not going to be worth anything in the end. So, you need to bring in new investors. New money needs to come in here. I'm trying not to beat up on Phantom, but at the same time, I don't want to hear about their great platform that's supposed to be uncensored when they censor people. Now, they did the right thing, and they apologized to me the next day, and they unblocked me. And since then, I haven't been back because I don't need to go in there. But, it's not just me. They're censoring people that are talking about other things, like even before this happened. All right, so this person here says maybe many more dollars in the future. And then Sell More FUD says, Jack, I hear they're going to be swinging in 2023. Okay, great. And then Dorval family. All right, so look, he's talking about Cliff and Shibnobi. I'll address this. I'm going to just address this real quick and let you jump in, Max. So it says, Dorval family, please, guys, for the sake of common sense, don't blame the project. Just be patient. Cliff is a gentleman. He will get to you and address your concerns. All right, so it's not about that. I'm not saying that Cliff is not a gentleman. I mean, I don't know him personally. From what I see on camera, I like what I'm seeing. I like the transparency. I don't know how in the world he has so much energy to come on every night, and he's flying over to Dubai and all this.
I feel the same. Yeah, I feel the same way about him. I mean, I have a lot of respect for the man too. I think he sets the kind of like the standard as far as, how devs should do AMAs. I mean, they've been doing it every single day. I get where you're coming from and so on. I don't know if you came in a little bit later in regards to the discussion and so on, but I will state this. But I was going to make a point earlier in regards to the marketing. So, for instance, again, here locally, there's Elio Motors. Elio Motors have this concept car basically in which it has a wheel in the front, two tires or two wheels in the back. It's basically a glorified motorcycle, but the selling point was you could have a brand new car for, get this, like roughly $5,000, right? And that was the vision, and a lot of hype. They did like so many pre-sales, a ton, raised a bunch of capital and so on. You want to know something? Not one single car has came off the assembly line yet. And on top of that, it's not an electric car or anything like that. But again, like you mentioned, it's the marketing. I hardly doubt most people, especially even in this particular live stream, you probably haven't heard of Elio Motors. There might be a couple, but again, it was the marketing. Did a great job on the pre-sales, right? Horrible job on the marketing.
So here's the thing. I am trying to reach Cliff, and I'm doing it through this platform. I'm not going to go onto his AMA and ask questions. The reason why I'm doing that is I want to build up this audience, and I care about this audience. There's 800 people in here plus that are subscribed to this channel that are either invested in Shibnobi or care about Shibnobi enough to subscribe to the channel when I do a video about Shibnobi. But I don't like to be ignored, and this is what the big thing is with me. I don't want to be ignored. I don't care if I don't have a big subscriber count. I don't care if I don't get a lot of views. I don't want to be ignored. Look, come back to me, and say to me, look, we're not interested in working with you, Larry. We don't care about your marketing. We don't care about your ideas. We don't want you to promote our token. I'm not doing it for free anymore. If they want to come on here free and talk, if they want to come on here free, they can talk on the stream. But, at least just tell me, look, I'm not interested in working with you, Larry.
No, I hear. Let me cut you off for just a second. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Speaking of not being ignored, I want to give a shout out to Selmo Fudd. Thank you for your super chat. Let's not, nobody wants to be ignored. He says, to the stranger Inu rug pull relief. Thank you, Selma. We really do appreciate the $5
That is
super
good.
chat
Yeah.
or super thanks in that case. And so, back to what you're saying, Larry, I just wanted to point that out real quick. I didn't want it to just,
And I want to thank you, Selmo, and well, of course, it's another whole story. YouTube takes money out, and that's another crazy thing. We just started getting super chats, and they take their money out. Whenever money comes out, you know what? Just to be kind, I'll keep it at $5 because YouTube has to get their cut. But you know what? I will put the $5 into a wallet because I want to start some sort of a relief wallet. And I don't know how the heck we're going to prove, what people lost other than just being, having the blockchain guys look at it. I don't really examine wallets, but if we can determine that people lost money, I don't know, maybe we'll have like a giveaway or something for anybody that lost money with Strange Inu. Because, here's the thing, we want to do our part and try to clean up the space. And I accept responsibility for making videos that I never should have made on Strange Inu, me personally. And then Max had nothing to do with it. But this is the thing. We're changing some things and we're trying to get better. And we want to reach out to people that are experts with contracts and experts with vetting projects. And also we have some enforcers. We got a couple of guys that don't mind showing at someone's house and asking some tough questions and saying like, where the heck is the money that you just stole from everybody? Like we've got, there's people that we're working with behind the scenes that want to hunt these people down. And, they just want to talk and find out where the money is because, they need to still be there in order to get the money back. But, that's a whole other story. We won't really get into that because there's things that are going on behind the scenes. And I think YouTubers want to come together. I mean, I want to come together with YouTubers and we want to try to solve this problem and not be having this garbage on our airwaves if, it's going to hurt people.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, we don't want anything to, of course, hurt people. We don't want any, we don't want to have rug pulls or scams or anything like that. For instance, a while back, I think I like Ninja Floki. Technically speaking, right, the liquidity was all locked up and so on, but you got that owner who's controlling the contract. He's manipulating the buy and sell fees, and people go to cash out and they find out that they can only cash out about 10% of their position. So people can't really take big profits off the top. There's so many different ways that these creators can go about, the contract. It's ridiculous.
Guys, do me a favor before I forget, not to interrupt Max. Would you please do me a favor? There's 15 people in here. I don't even know how many likes there are because I don't even know how to get to that screen. I got 2 screens up here. The guy's coming over tonight. My friend, he's going to hook up the TV. I'll have 3 screens. I have, we have all this technology that I don't know how to use. So he's got the wiring down and all that kind of craziness. We're going to make the studio look a little bit better. But look, here's the thing, guys, do me a favor. Stop what you're doing. Let the dog out, put the child down, like the like button. And so that we can, smash the like button, do whatever you got to do to get the word out, because it's not about me going into Telegram groups. There's only so much time that I have. And I want, this to be organic. I know I'm kind of telling people to go in there. I'm not saying to beat anybody up and just start yelling at people. I'm saying encourage people to come on these shows. If you got, if there's a project that you like, Robo Inu, any type of project, if you like Archie Nako came on here. We talked to them in the Telegram. They're nice people. And we're going to think about investing in them. We're not sure yet. But look, if you know of a project that wants to be seen, we want to hear from them. We want the viewers to see, the questions that we ask and learn more about the project. But they can come on. The way they can get on for free, we appreciate donations like super chats and stuff like that. That's a great thing. We can talk about, any project you want with a super chat. But look, we're going to be honest about it. We're not going to say it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's going to 1000x. We're going to look at it objectively. But if anyone wants to come on for free from a community, whether you're a dev or not, it doesn't matter. You could be like a big cheerleader for something and come on and talk to us about it. Tell us why you're invested in it, and we, see if it's right for other people.
Right, and I don't like some of these telegrams that we hop on where, they just are ban happy admins. Let's be honest about it. We won't have that approach. We at least want to, hear what you have to say and what your project's all about and so on. Because at the end of the day, we want to be just as transparent as the next guy. And if we're being dismissive on anything for no reason at all, at the end of the day, influencers help the devs, for projects, and devs help influencers. And it's just like, I guess you could say it's kind of like a marriage, if you will, or a mutual understanding. But, my thing is just, like what happened this morning. I'm not going to even mention that project, but, it's just like, hey, we got this awesome multi-chain, multi-chain functionality and all this and all that. And I mentioned like, yeah, I covered you guys and so on and so forth. As soon as I mention any hint, I didn't say something like, I didn't mention AMA, anything like that. As soon as I mention any hint about, our community has some questions, and maybe possibly you guys can come on a show and address some of that. As soon as I mention anything about a show, boom, instant ban, no explanation. Just
well, we'll have to talk about that off camera. I didn't know that. But yeah, that's the thing. People, if they're too scared to answer questions, why would I want, I might be too scared to invest in it. But let me just address what Jack is saying again. And Jack, I really appreciate you because we're having this healthy debate here. And I hope you don't take it the wrong way. But I'm disagreeing with you on this. Look, Riz and Matt are nice guys. They're private people. They told me so. Like they told people in the world on Twitter and everywhere else. But face to face off camera, they said they're. I don't think I'm divulging anything by saying they're private people. I think you understand that. Everybody understands that. But let me just say this. Okay, Riz is a nice guy. He's educated, well-spoken. Matt's a nice guy. He's kind of quiet. These guys are not Richard Hart. Okay, Richard Hart has a ton of charisma. He's like, on the level with Elon Musk. Now, he doesn't have as much money as Elon Musk, but he's got that type of personality where people want to listen to whatever he says. They want to understand what he's trying to say, and he's highly intelligent. So don't give me the garbage about that. If he might have not, I don't even care if he paid for any advertising. He is the advertisement. He is the marketing plan. Him just showing up on camera is all you need. Like Elon Musk doesn't have to spend any more money on advertising anymore if he doesn't want to. All he has to do is just show up somewhere. If he wants to walk across the street and someone sees him walking across the street, that's better than any advertisement they could do. So, I mean, there you go. So now Shiba Inu, I disagree with, because one of the ways I found out about Shiba Inu was through a Facebook ad. So if somebody's paying for that. Now, whether that's somebody that's invested in it or not, and not the devs, it doesn't matter. Don't tell me that Shiba Inu doesn't do any advertising. All right, so there you go. And then who else advertises for Shiba Inu? Binance does. The big exchanges were advertising the hell out of Shiba Inu. Because why? Because they realized it's a hot topic. It was trending on Google last year. So don't give me the crap that Shiba Inu doesn't advertise. Look, there's a lot of money behind Shiba Inu. There's a lot of money behind Hex. And if Richard Hart's not paying for advertising, there's other people that are big holders. There's 300 million, I don't even know, probably more than that. There's 300 people that are millionaires that are inside of Hex right now. Now, there's probably more than that. That was like probably a couple months ago. So don't tell me that, nobody's advertising for these things. And sometimes if you have a big charismatic leader, you don't need to pay for advertising. That is the marketing plan for the guy to get on camera and say hello to everybody. A Web3 social media platform is built in market B&B. So, I hate to beat up on Phantom, but, Phantom, let me just say this. Look, I'm not somebody that's always right on everything. I'll admit to you when I make a mistake. But let me just tell you this. For Phantom, not marketing is the wrong thing to do. No one cares about your project. There's 11,000 different tokens and more than that I can look at that are new. If you don't talk about your project constantly on the internet, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Reddit, then no one is going to remember about it and no one is going to invest in it. There's too many choices. And half the people just invest in the top 100 anyway. What did you just say, Max? 81% of the people have Bitcoin and Ethereum?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying 81% of the overall crypto market cap comes from Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's why, So for instance, if they're not doing well, it affects the altcoins. I could go on about that and so on, but for instance, it's like the thing is, Bitcoin is trending down to 30,000. I'm just gonna make a prediction. I shouldn't do this, but why not? Since we're talking about it, I hate to say this, I really see Bitcoin going down to 30,000. But after that, I think things will start gradually going back. And for instance, things will become bullish again and you'll see an uptrend. And for instance, like, I always talk about investor plays, right? So you got like Luke Lango, Charlie Shrimp. Charlie Shrimp, for crying out loud, has been involved with Bitcoin since it was $5. So we're talking about people who've been around the block, if you will, and already made their fortunes. Again, not financial advice or anything like that, but the reports that they're putting out is just like, that kind of seems to be the trend. And what they're stating is actually coming to full fruition, unfortunately. But at the same time, it's kind of like when things go green, they don't stay green forever. Same with things going red. It ain't going to just keep going down forever. But the cool thing is what is upcoming. And so when you see these projects with certain roadmaps and, like in their vision, or the roadmap matches what the vision that they're doing, it gets me particularly excited because if anything, my attitude is, why in the world would you want to FOMO into everything anyway? You shouldn't be buying when everything is super green and super hot. You should be buying when everything is like a crash. Again, not financial advice. That's the personal play that I do. So.
And I agree with what you're saying there, Max. It's not too often that I disagree with what you're saying. That's the good thing about us, but it's healthy to disagree too. I'm not saying that we don't, and there's going to be a point in time where we're going to disagree vehemently with each other, and that's going to be a fun show. But Absolute Crypto here, that's exactly what I'm looking for, and I appreciate you reaching out to Strong because I've already done my part. I've already reached out, and I don't chase people. Like it doesn't work in life to chase people, whether you're doing sales, marketing, whatever you're doing, like contract negotiations, like these guys haven't even seen me negotiate. Like sometimes I'm considered what's called a Russian negotiator. Like I'm pretty cutthroat when it comes to negotiating. So I don't like.
Right. It's not about chasing anybody. At the end of the day, I mean, even for some of the people, we get it. Some of the fans that come to our platform, our live stream, come here and then like they're here for a little bit. For instance, who is it? Legal Alien. Shout out to him. I get it. He drops in for a little bit, drops out. But the point is this: even with Legal Alien, I'm not chasing him just for the same reason. Larry's not chasing somebody that is around his subscriber count. Like, what's a good example? I'm going to say Malt Money. He's not chasing Malt Money. I'm not chasing the next guy who's ahead of me. It's all about finding. Some people call it your niche. I'm old school. I call it my niche. So it's all about finding your niche. Like, for instance, with me, my niche is covering Metropolis. My niche is covering Clearpool. My niche is covering Luna 1. Larry's niche obviously was covering Saitama. It's finding your niche. And with that said, staying with your niche, of course, expanding upon that. And of course, at the end of the day, we're all diversifying. Even you guys diversified your, what channels you go on, by joining us. So we appreciate that.
I'm somebody that listens also to the audience and the people that are subscribed here. And I think Max would agree with that. And, the audience and the comments back in December, I made the first video on Shibnobi on December 11th. And the comments before that were, you got to get into Shibnobi. What's your thoughts on Shibnobi? What do you think about Shibnobi? Can you cover Shibnobi? Can you do a video on Shibnobi? So you know what? I started looking into it. And I was like, there's a lot of excitement around this. Everybody was talking about it. So I'm going to respond to what the audience wants. Now, this whole spiel that I went on, the rant, whatever you want to call it, it's a litmus test. I want to see if the passion is still there for this token, if there are any questions, concerns, because I want the people here to be an army of crypto talkers. They're going to go into these different Telegram groups and they're going to talk on behalf of the rest of the subscribers, not just myself, not just Max. We want you guys to go in there and bring on the channel what you want to see. Go out there now that we have a live stream, bring in the people that you want to ask questions to. Now, it doesn't have to be Cliff. If he wants to come on, that's great. I understand he's a busy guy and he's trying to run a project and he also does AMAs every night, but it can be anybody. If it wants to be Shibnobi Strong, he's busy too. He can come on, but it doesn't have to be. It can be somebody that can answer questions. Teddy Ganja, whatever. Look, Legal Alien is funny. We had, I was actually in his live stream because I couldn't sleep and I'm watching him late at night. And, that guy was there. And he's pretty funny. I changed that guy's name to Mr. NFT Queen, and everybody got a kick out of that. And I was messaging a lot on that live stream, and we were having some fun there. So, we're all part of the same community. Look, the thing is this. The money keeps getting circulated around and going and bouncing in these different tokens. The same money over and over again. The question is, how do we bring new people in? And some people have to kind of check these Telegram groups because the first impression sometimes is the Telegram group. And, like from what I've seen from some of these groups, I'm not, not crazy about it. I'm not impressed with it.
Well, actually, I know that we're pretty passionate about this particular subject. Let's just take a moment to look at some of these comments. I'm going to read one of them. It's from, hopefully I pronounce this right, Matt McCursey. He states basically, what's a good token you like? So for me, it's not just one token. It's a few. I'm actually going to bring up my watch list. I'm going to see if I can share my screen again. Give me just a second. So
I'm putting in some of these different comments here. It says, very sad to rug pull These are people's lives. Yeah, I think a lot of these scumbags that
You,
like the ones that are behind Strange. I'm talking about Strange Enu now. Like scumbags that run these things are part of a lot of these rogue polls, unfortunately.
Larry, can you go ahead and improve my screen share for a second?
Yeah, how do I do that? Is that on the? I don't see it here.
It should be on the StreamYard.
I'm looking at the streamer right now. Is it in?
Yeah,
Like
it's okay if you can't. It's all right.
private comments? No.
No, it's okay.
No, I don't have a request.
Yeah, no,
for that.
it's okay.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I was gonna say, guys. I mean, I'm just gonna look at a few of them. For instance, like on CoinMarketCap. I mean, you know, when we recommended, for instance, you know, to answer your question, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back, Matt McCursey. So to answer your question, you know, like for instance, a few days ago, we recommended, again, not financial advice or anything like that, but we did recommend Miami Coin. Miami Coin is part of the City Coins. If you would have gotten to that during the time that we recommended it, you would actually be up about 247% for the week. So Miami Coin is really doing well. It's one of those projects that kind of, like I always state, flies under the radar. I'm all about covering projects that fly on the radar because at the end of the day, I like seeing, you know, I like covering stuff like that because, you know, let's face it. I mean, I'm personally invested in this shit and some of these other ones, just like you guys. But at the end of the day, those are, like, you know, if we cover that all the time, that's saturated. At the end of the day, something like Miami Coin, that's not saturated. And so, you know, if that's something that interests you, look into something like that. Again, that's up 247%, up about 38% today during a time in which the overall crypto market's down. I mean, heck, we're down to 1.63 trillion. So, you know, the way I look at it is like what Jack was saying earlier. He was just like, you know, let's be real, you know, Bitcoin's going down to 11K. I mean, you know, I can agree to disagree. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, Jack is wrong and that I'm right. From the evidence that I've seen out there from multiple analysts and so on, and this is not just like, you know, 2 or 3 guys just saying, hey, this is what's going to happen. But I mean, we're talking like real people who've been in the crypto game since $5 of Bitcoin. We're talking like Charlie Shrem and those type of guys. It's looking like it's going to be like 30K. Now, again, things could happen. Things could get worse. I mean, for crying out loud, if we know, God forbid, you know, World War III breaks out, right? I mean, going down to 11K probably would be more realistic, right? But, you know, anyway, what's going to stay is, yeah, there's things like, you know, Miami Coin, that's up, what did I say about, I'm sorry, I got to pull up that screen again. 251% in the last 7 days, up 38%. I know you guys were talking about Luffy, but you got to keep in mind, you know, I think right now, yeah, I'm not even looking at the right one with Luffy. That's the V1 contract, so I'm not going to, you know, bat an eye on that. But, you know, some of those are the ones that stood out for me. Now, as far as recent listings on Crypto.com's app, I'm going to pound this one home. Stay away from GMT. I'm just going to state that. You're going to see it trending quite a bit right now. And I get it. It's very tempting to get into because it looks very appealing because it's constantly growing. You got to understand is I've been looking at like Token Sniffer. I've been looking at other sites and so on. And it's a honeypot. And it's like, at the end of the day, you don't want to get involved in a honeypot. Sure, that might change. I don't know. I mean, I guess I would have to look more deeper into it. But if you're looking into something like the FitFi type of thing, you know, where it's basically these apps that reward you for exercise and so on. I would say, you know, FitFi is the better route to go to. Again, not financial advice, but FitFi, right? Yeah, it's just like GMT and so on, the step-in app, right? But it's already been listed on Crypto.com's app. And so my attitude is I'd rather go with, you know, the word of Crypto.com and them getting listed on there compared to, you know, a typical ERC20 token that's on just a few decentralized exchanges like Uniswap. I think that's fair to state. So those are the few that are, or those are the couple that are standing out right now. Another one's on my radar, you know, it's going up about 38% for the week, is definitely Tron Trx. It's mainly because of what they got going on in connection to like everything with DeFi going on as we speak. Some big things are going on with that. I would definitely look more into Tron with what they got going on. They're doing some pretty good volume lately. Again, that's in the top 20. And then last but not least, like I was talking about before, the Near protocol, what they got going on. I got to research it more. And once I do, I'll try to bring it to you guys, possibly do a video. I don't know. But Near protocol paired with this new thing, and I am going to engage you guys more with the camera, and I'll state this. There's this new stable coin, and it's just that. It's new. USDD, US double D stable coin. You heard what I just said. US double D. Remember that. Paired with the Nair protocol, and what they're trying to do, and I guess is currently out, Max Maher even covered this, and that is 30% APR on your stable coin. Nothing could touch that right now. That is huge. That's a game changer, because the only other one that really stood out, we covered here on our channel as well, or our show, and that is Anchor Protocols. Anchor paired with UST, which is Terra. So if you're looking to earn more of an interest, look into both of those. By all means, you got to have an exit plan when it comes to crypto. So
I'll just welcome everybody that has just joined us. Looks like we got 12 people in here. Do us a favor. Do yourselves a favor. Smash the like button so the more people can see this stream. I definitely agree with what you're saying here, Jack. We're agreeing on this statement, or at least I am, that Bitcoin always drops 80 to 90%. And Richard Hart did call the top. You know, the top for Bitcoin was 69,000 last year. I remember around the time, you know, one of the things that he pointed out was that he kind of called the top. So I will give him credit there. I hope he doesn't go down to 11,000. If he's saying that now, you know, hopefully he's wrong. You know, he might be right, but hopefully he's wrong. So that's where we are there. We'll take that comment off the stream. And again, we thank everyone for being here. If you're wondering, if you just kind of stumbled into our show, you stumbled into a live stream, you're with Max and Larry. Monday through Friday, we go at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is what we start at. We usually go like longer. We go maybe sometimes an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending if we have any guests from the community or possibly in the future other YouTubers. I have been in talks with a couple people that wanted to try to stop and make cameo appearances at some point. It's just that I haven't had time to set up the formatting properly. And also, like you're watching now, Saturdays and Sundays, we start at 4 p.m. We're pretty laid back. You know, we're passionate guys. We're passionate about the things that we're invested in, and also some of the things that we're not in, because, you know, we know that people that watch this show and or support this channel, by the way, if you guys want to subscribe for more, please do so. We know that people are invested in things that we're not even into. But, you know, if people want to talk about other tokens, you're welcome to drop it in the comment section. Let's go over some more of these comments. And Absolute Crypto, appreciate that. He reached out to LRSC. He will get the message to Cliff here. And then I don't think I've missed anybody's comment. So I went back to some of the older ones. But yeah, the overall market, Max, I don't know. We didn't really talk about the flavor of the market, so to speak. It's just a very weird market. Oh, by the way, one quick thing. One of your favorite subjects, sure. Luna One. I'll tell you some good news about Luna One. I don't even know much about the project. I know you talked about it the one time, and they had the pre-sale. I'm not 100% certain if the pre-sale is still going on, but somebody from their marketing department, I think his name was Lee. I just went back through my folder, and I missed the comment, or I missed the email because it was actually in my spam folder. And it is what it is. You know, that happens. And he said that hello, Larry, we'd like to talk to you more about possibly giving you some information.
Okay, well then,
possibly coming
did
on
hear
the show.
from me.
Yeah. So we can talk about that afterwards.
Because I reached out to Daniel of Luna One, and I didn't hear back from him, but maybe he just bounced it to somebody else that's like, part of his marketing team. So, that makes sense. Right on. I'm glad to hear back from him. So, like, elaborate on that. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah. So the point I'm trying to make is with the Luna One, and I'm going to circle this back to what we were talking about earlier, because I didn't explain my point well enough. Real briefly,
Sure.
Quickly here, is that the comment that I made about chasing people, we don't want to go into Telegram people and try to fish and chase and drag people into this live stream. We don't want to beg people. We want people to organically, naturally come to us. People that are watching the show to go back to their communities and say, hey, Larry and Max are kind of nice guys. Max is nicer than me. Some people hate me or whatever. But look, we want to go in and talk to these guys because the audience matters. We have a mature investment audience, so people can come in here. We can ask some questions. Doesn't mean we're going to beat you up, but we want to get some answers. And then that way people can learn more about it, whether we invest in it or not. We can, we have a starting point. So that's what my comment was there. So let's see right here. So let's see what this comment says. The only thing you should be tapping this weekend is the like button. Okay, like these two. I appreciate that, Jack. So, Jack, I agree with, half the time what he's saying here. and half of it I don't agree with. But, that's what makes the show fun. So if we always, we don't need cheerleaders. This is not a football team. You guys are not cheerleaders. If you disagree with us, that's fine.
Yeah, we want, people feel like they can come on here and we can agree to disagree and that type of thing. Like I've always said, I think that's one of the main problems with a country and the world is not having enough people who could come together to agree to disagree. Where this whole thing of whether you want to call it cancel culture or whatever it is, at the end of the day, if you can't agree to disagree, then what are you doing?
Exactly. Yep. So I haven't heard this one. He says
Kizzo. I haven't heard that one.
Is that I don't know if it's on the ERC side or there's also a looks like a B&B. So I don't know if I have the right token or not. This one here has got 500. Let's take a look at the ERC one. This might be like a new one. I've never heard a Kizzo. Doesn't mean, maybe it's a good one. I don't know. Looks like it might be new. So tell me if this is the right one up on the screen. It says it's at 25 cents. Let me expand this chart a little bit. Let's go to like the 1 hour chart and just see what it looks like. So it looks like it started back on the 22nd of April. And volume is kind of down 3,500. So tell me more about this. I don't really know much about this. There's no links on here. So I guess we could, take a look at it. But so yeah, I don't really know, but you'll have to drop in the comments, Jack.
Is this one technically Kizzo Inu? By any chance?
Oh, they're relaunching. Okay.
Larry, is this technically Kizzo Inu? Do you know?
Oh, if it's new, is that what you said?
No, is it technically Kizzo Inu?
Oh, I don't know. I'm looking at no, I really don't know. There's always so many copycats too, so I don't know if this is the right one. He said,
I think it is. I think it is because it's stating us about roughly 24, 28, 25 cents. All right, I'm gonna take a look into it real quick while you're doing your thing.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. If you find any information on it, I'm gonna read some more of these comments. So, Absolute Crypto, he's an advocate for our channel. Looks like he's saying that Cliff and Strong are not online, but I sent your live stream to someone and passed it on directly. That's exactly what we're looking for. We're just looking to get their attention because it's quicker and easier to do it during this live stream, and it makes it a little bit more fun. And then that way we get more attention because we're trying to get some attention here. We want the show to grow. And while it's growing and we're getting attention, we're getting some real answers to some real problems or questions and concerns that someone has about a project.
I did bring it up, and it is the right one that you have on your DEX tools.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the token sniffer on it. The only a few concerns. Yeah, the buy fee is cheap. It's like 0% or not even. Well, it might be like 0.2%, but anyway, it says 0%. The selfie is concerning. It's 20% in regards to the selfie. I understand there could be reasons for that. Like, for instance, they want to discourage people like dumping their position, obviously. There is a wallet or more than one wallet that has a substantial amount of tokens, which could have a large impact on the token if the price is sold. Because basically it states that all other holders possess them with 5% of the circulating supply. So again, there's basically a big wallet that can make a big impact. But other than that, there's adequate liquidity, which we want to see. There was adequate initial liquidity, and there is 99.99% locked liquidity in Trust Swap until the April 22nd of next year. So that's good. And then the creator wallet has less than 5% liquidity at 0%. So those are good signs. Just my main concern would be the selfie at 20%, and then of course a big wallet. Like, is that a whale? What is that? So, but yeah, maybe we should take a look into it.
We'll take a look into it. Unfortunately, the problem is there's so many tokens that choose to go the Inu route. Like Inu, dog. I think it's dog in Japanese, but there's a lot of copycats out there. I'm not saying that this is not a legit project, but be careful out there, guys. Some of these are degen plays. It doesn't mean that you can't make money with it, but you just have to be smart and understand what you're getting into. So this is something to be careful with. I'll go and skip one comment and come back to it because this is an easier one to answer. Do you guys feel Doge will go anywhere? I woke up. I don't even know.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I literally said we're going to get to that. Yeah.
I was thinking about that. You know, it's what is it? It might be around 13 cents right now. I thought I saw it this morning at that.
I still have a bag of that. I actually still have quite a decent sized bag of that. So
you do? Okay.
Yeah.
I have a teeny tiny amount of dust. And I was like, you know, that's something that I was going back and forth on. I think I told you that I dollar cost average. I made some good money. I had dollar cost average was around 5.2 cents or something like that. And I sold at 7 something. Sold a little bit too soon, but went back and forth, bought, you know, made a little money here and there in addition to the initial chunk of change I made. But I like those, you know, it's one of the ones that get away with, you know, pretty much zero utility. I think it should be a payment. What's your outlook on Doge?
I was just going to literally say that. Yeah, there's not much utility about it. So, you know, okay. So you probably obviously heard this from any other live streamer and so on, Absolute Crypto, you know, restate, you know, you guys feel Doge will ever go anywhere? And then the typical thing is, oh, it doesn't have no utility, blah, 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 right? We get that. At the end of the day, people got to realize, you know, it's kind of like this. I'm a big advocate for Clearpool. I love it. The mainnet was launched March 23rd, and everybody had the attitude as soon as the mainnet launched, it was going to go to the moon. My approach when it comes to Dogecoin is similar. Basically like this, with the whole thing with Elon Musk. You got to keep in mind, just because Elon Musk joins Twitter or not just joins it, buys it outright, doesn't mean that Dogecoin is going to go to the moon immediately. Wait for the implementation of some of the things that he's throwing around to be put into, like, I don't know, I guess you could say like an official thing. When you start hearing things like, you know, there's going to be payment for this, payment for that, but like where he actually not just has the influence, but I guess you could say like people getting tipped basically on Twitter. So you have these Twitter spaces, as you know about, right? Like we don't do a Twitter space in the future, we will, but you know, enabling content creators to get tipped on Twitter, I think that's the first start of things that can really bring the utility of the concept of Dogecoin as far as a payment system. Because at the end of the day, it is a lot more appealing for people to use Dogecoin because you could buy so much of it, right, for cheap, compared to, you know, using a sliver or a fraction of Bitcoin. I mean, I think we can pretty much, for the most part, agree on that. I'm sure there's some people who might disagree on that. And then on top of that, not having like a big gas fee tied into it, like for instance, like Ethereum, that's crucial. So those things currently exist as we speak when it comes to Dogecoin. So it's like, well, how do we implement it? Well, how you implement it is, you better believe it helps you have Elon Musk pound that home. Of course, you have Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks and so on, pound that home. But again, some of these things are going to take time. And the thing is, how much time? Some people, they don't want to keep waiting on it, and I get it. My thing is this, and I always go back to this, and that is, for instance, look at Shiba Inu. You know, Shiba Inu, you start off like, what is it, summer 2020, and then it's like nothing going on, and then May 2021, the first all-time highs. Then from May 2021 to, you know, October 2021, now you have, oh my gosh, you have new all-time highs, right? Even myself, I mean, I turned 8K into 88K from Shiba Inu last October. I mean, I'm a huge fan of it. But the point is this. We only really saw one big, huge all-time highs for Dogecoin. If you look at the trend of some of these meme coins or this Dogecoin and so on, even Saitama, right? I'm not going to go there right now because I don't want to talk about Saitama anymore. But my point is this. You should see at least more than one all-time highs. And again, it's like, I still feel as though that's going to happen with Dogecoin. Now, I can understand the frustration because I'm in the same boat. You know, it's like, for me, I turned $300 worth of Dogecoin into 22K. And then I still have, you know, a bag of Dogecoin. And so it's like, for me, personally, not financial advice, but when that thing goes to $1, I'm probably going to cash out my last bag. If not cash it out, maybe do like 50% of it, you know, like just another moon bag for the future. I'm not saying that you got to do that. But again, wait to hear from these big players like Elon Musk and so on, what they really plan on doing. Because last I saw, there is some things coming together in regards to that. So again, try to follow like with, you know, what is going on in that particular space. Because yeah, there's no utility behind it. But it's what? At the end of the day, it's the creation of the utility. If you have this being a payment system, then to a sense, that is going to become the utility behind it. They already have a great community behind it, kind of like Dojo Mars, right? Dojo Mars is another example of a great community-driven project, but with no utility. So that's how I feel about it personally. I get it. I'm kind of frustrated with Doge, but it doesn't mean that it can't come back from it. I still see that being on the horizon, possibly by the end of the year. I know everybody states that, but at the end of the day, again, that's how I personally look at it. I'm going to read some of these comments right here. So, for instance, we got a Core Peace Out, time for work. I guess, time for my, he meant to say work. I almost read that like, he's going to go to Chinwalk or something like that. Chinese food does sound good. Anyway, Larry's back. You want to read some of these comments, Larry?
Yeah, I do. Before I do, I want to acknowledge my dog is trying to push my chair over here. He's a big dog. He's 96 pounds. And apparently he learned the internet term for dog, and that's Doge and Inu. In Japanese, it's Inu, right? So as soon as I said Doge, he comes flying in here. So he's been listening to the show and understanding more. And we're going to set it up maybe eventually so he can get on camera without having to adjust my camera. Maybe we need to get a patches cam so that he can contribute when we're talking about some of these dog tokens and coins. But I think just to follow up what you're saying, I agree with a lot what you're saying. It's definitely an option for payments. I don't think people want to pay in Bitcoin, but they got to. The cost is the issue with Doge as well. But I will say this: that 2 words, Elon Musk, and that's the only reason right there. I mean, I have faith in it long term just because of that, and more so now that he's tied to Twitter. Right, he's in the process of buying Twitter. If he hasn't already, I don't even know how it's going, but I know he's going to buy it. So that is a big thing for crypto, because if he has a free platform to even talk about Doge and crypto in general even more, I think it's got a real future. So there's it's no mistake as to the reason why everybody knows why it's in the top 100 still, and that's because Elon Musk. But let's get into some of these other questions here. Now this is a good question. That Duhast has. He says, how was Strange Inu able to rug pull with lock liquidity? So that's a really good question, because when I checked on it on Token Sniffer, first I wasn't really sure what I did. Then I remember checking. I could have sworn it said 89 days when I looked at it. I reached out to the developers and said, hey, are you planning on relocking this liquidity? Because this is something that's important, for anyone invested in this token. It needs to be locked. And as it gets closer to that time frame, are you going to relock it? And they assured me that they were. But how much can you trust them, right? I mean, I wanted to believe them. But Max, do you want to try to take a stab at answering that question? Do you know how they were able to do it with it being locked, or are we not sure?
I'm not going to even take a stab at that, to be honest. I'm not going to BS you guys in regards to that, because for me personally, I wasn't personally invested into that project, as you know, and it wasn't something I covered. That was more of, I'm not trying to, say, hey, Larry, that was your thing. But I mean, in reality, you were more into it than I was. I just never had a chance to really get into it. If it ended up being a legit thing, and this thing kept progressing and so on, and it was what it was supposed to be, a great project, great community-driven project, then yeah, I was eventually gonna, look into it more. Like, hey, you know what, we have a community based on it, and so on. And I need to do my homework, I guess you could state, and look more into it, just for the same reason that I cover certain things that you might not be into, that I'm more knowledgeable about compared to you or the next guy. So I wouldn't even sit here for a second and try to BS you and say I know about that. However, I will state this: if somebody wanted to, I guess you could say, I mean, I could go back into it and maybe pull up on the contract, verify a few things. Let's see how it differentiates from Token Sniffer to what says on Etherscan. Is Etherscan even going to show that there's something fishy going on in regards to that? Because at the end of the day, yeah, Token Sniffer helps, but it's not the end all be all. We just like to have something to kind of go off of, because you got to keep in mind, if you look at Token Sniffer, these are things being reported from community members back to them. I'm not going to mention this particular project, and it's a legitimate project. I just don't want to promote them at the time. But there was one, for instance, on my channel in which I didn't want to do a video about, and it was because on Token Sniffer, for instance, everything looked great except for the lock liquidity on Token Sniffer basically stated that this particular product, I'm not referring to Strange Eating, but I'm not going to mention who it was, but anyway, they didn't have enough lock liquidity. And I said, you know what, that is a big red X for me, not just because it had a red X. I said to myself, yeah, top influencers are covering this particular meme / community driven project. I'll say this much. It is a particular Inu. I'm not going to state which one it is. However, again, there was not enough lock liquidity. And I said to myself, but what the heck? They keep promoting this. And a thing came out about, where they apologize, like the top 3 guys apologized, saying, you know what, guys, on our Patreons, we recommend this particular one. It seemed good, lock liquidity, et cetera, et cetera. However, ended up being a rug. And they were like, sometimes these things get past us. Now, where I'm getting back to my point was this. So Token Sniffer said one thing. Then I went on to their official site, read their white paper a little bit further, and then I got to the point where it mentions they had it really listed out nice. It said adequate liquidity, all this stuff, and then like the transactions of of locking up the liquidity. And then I was able to verify that not just from what they had printed, because again, anybody could print something on a white paper or a website, but then I went to Etherscan and I did confirm the liquidity and so on. So that's the point I'm trying to make. At the end of the day, it's not just about, Token Sniffer and so on. We have to go to Token Sniffer because, let's face it, a lot of these projects are low cap and they're new and they're not going to have like the great CERDIC audits and so on. So you have to have something to go off of. So where I'm also going with this, and I'll just wrap this up in regards to that, and that is this. Somebody from the community, it could be even somebody from them, makes it look like they're part of that Token Sniffer community or whatever, and it could have been a malicious person from Strange Emu, right? And they post all this stuff that to make it look legit, and then it conflicts from Etherscan. So again, if you guys want, I guess we can get into that. Me personally, it's just like why at this point? But I mean, I guess if it was really needed and if somebody wanted to do it, maybe I'll do it. I don't know. I'm not gonna make any promises, but that's how I would go about it. It's just basically comparing like Etherscan, because at the end of the day, Etherscan is going to be more accurate to show what happened by checking, wallets and especially creator wallets and stuff like that. So it's unfortunate to say the least.
My dog is trying to knock me over off my chair here. He doesn't like to be ignored either. So let me just address a couple of these really fast, and then I'm going to come back to it because I gotta go strong against one of these crazy comments in a second. But before I do that, I'm just going to quickly say that my thoughts on Dash are, I think he's talking about Doge Dash. I like Doge Dash because it has a real product. I have a small bag, moon bag of it still, and I compare it to like something like Shiba Adventure, which is newer. But, I like things with real utility. These little games, they just need to catch on with kids. They play them on their phone possibly in the future, and you don't know where they can go. We're going to come back to the Gallon UFO and get Max's input. But first, I got to bring this ridiculousness stuff, this crazy comment up on the screen. And I appreciate you, Bob, for being here. Bob Sanders says, load up your phantom bags. Rumor Elon Musk is behind. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or if you're really, or you're just being delusional, but you can let me know in the comment section. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. But I think it's kind of a delusional statement to say that, Elon Musk is behind Phantom Project. And it says here that the Doge, I think he's just trying to be funny. The Doge mystery deployer wallet sent funds to Phantom. So I think maybe it's just a joke, but I don't know. I hope you're not serious. I just wanted to go to that. Now I want to go back and ask. I'm going to say real quick that I'm invested. I like Gala. Oh, wait a minute. This is about Saitama. We'll come back to that. I like Gala. I have a small bag of UFO. I'm not as crazy about UFO. I bought it a long time ago.
Okay, you probably bought it the same time I did.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I have a bag of it.
Yeah, yep. So I feel, let me just say this real fast. Gala, I feel better about than UFO, but maybe UFO can catch up. So Gala had a big run and then pulled it back. Now, what do you think about those two, Max?
I actually feel the exact same way. I mean, as you know, I'm not going to agree with everything you say, just like you're not going to agree with everything I say. But on those two particular ones, Gala and UFO, that's the exact same way I feel. And that is a while back when UFO was like the hot topic and so on. It seemed as though, I guess you could say it was FOMO. I didn't FOMO as far as, I should say it didn't FOMO. I bought on the dip, but in a way it's FOMOing, right? Because it's a hot topic and everybody's talking about it, and it creates hype, right? But to a sense, it's kind of FOMOing in, I bought on the dip. So a combination of FOMOing and buying on the dip in regards to UFO. But nothing exciting has happened with UFO since all the hype of what was it, last September, October, roughly, right? Something like that. So it's like nothing really big is going on. I need to double check what's going on with the Twitter, maybe go on the Telegram, maybe just see if they're doing anything. I mean, I don't even think they've even done an AMA in a while. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. But there's just not a lot of hype behind it right now. So, but as far as Gala, I don't know. The way I look at Gala is like kind of like the apple, like Gala apples, but beside the point. My attitude with that is still a very strong project. If I'm not mistaken, aren't they like top 80? Maybe.
Yeah, they're in the top 100. I mean, we can jump over to
75. I knew they're in the top 80. So currently they're about a little under 14%, a little above 13%, 13 cents. So like 13.66. The volume is down, but you got to keep in mind they're right on the borderline, right, of it being $1 billion market cap, and that is verified. Zooming out on their chart as we speak. I mean, it was last week they went up to 16 cents. I mean, they're quite away from all-time highs. I mean, for people who, that was the big thing, right? So it's like, what was it? A little bit of promotion from early last year, right? So you got like roughly February. This was really starting to stand out. It was like, should we take a chance on Gala? Because a lot of people had that too. It was one of those projects where like under a penny, like fractions of a penny. So it was like, 0.00 like 9 or 8, right? And then you had somewhat of a run up, right? It was like the first all-time highs of September. And it's really catching people's attention because it literally just went from, it literally shed like 1.0, I should state. And then you have like September, like top influencers are talking about it. Now it's worth 11 cents. And then boom, you literally have, all-time highs, roughly like above 70 cents. And it's just kind of catching the eye of everybody. But what I'm trying to state is this. I still think there's big things happening in regards to it because I have been kind of in and out with what they got going on. And they're doing more than holding their own. They're not going flat. They're not, nose diving. It's a pretty healthy project overall. So that's my thoughts on it. I mean, of course, look into it for yourself. I realize they're really into the whole, gaming platform and so on. But I would definitely say that they're a better play than UFO. I don't know what the heck's going on with UFO. I got to look into that personally. I'm not personally invested into Gala. I am personally invested into UFO. Gala was always one of those ones where I was on the fence about. But if this tanks more, I would say this much. If Gala tanks to 10 cents or below, I might pick up a bag. But, don't quote me on that. Because, I mean, I have other ones I'm looking into. It just, there's so many crypto projects, as you guys know.
I appreciate David Fletcher's comment, but I just have to, again, laugh about it. Anytime that you guys come up here with Phantom, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or you're just trying to get my attention or rattle my cage a little bit, but I have to respond. I mean, this is just ridiculous stuff. The TikTok community's behind them. I mean, that's great, but there's nobody behind them. I shouldn't say that. There's Wealthyverse, and, I like those guys, Shane, Mr. Burt, and, there's Teddy Ganja, but who else is there? I'm one of the biggest people. I mean, I'm one of the people that talks about Phantom. Like, I shouldn't be that way. And I'm not saying anything positive about them, but when they're positive things, I'll say, okay, the staking is good. I like the dev stuff like that. I like the people covering it, but it kind of ends right there. There's no hype going on YouTube or Twitter. Like, I don't, the Twitter account is just, I don't even know if anybody's there or if they're just, playing golf or on their yacht. But I mean, for this type of statement here, the TikTok community is behind him. I know he says coins of the new coins. He's talking about a token because they don't even have their own blockchain. But so I mean, I'm sorry if I have to come down and it sounds like I'm ripping Phantom, but I mean, maybe they need to hear this because they need to tap into the $3 million. They can't keep beating the dead horse. They're down on the ground.
Yeah.
They're in the basement. They need to spend their money on the marketing.
I will state this: the comment from Bob Sanders. He says, "Absolutely seems Elon Musk is behind Dogecoin, Floki, Phantom, Luna, KDA, Ka, and Hive." Okay, maybe Hive and Luna and Dogecoin, but Phantom. Are you referring to the top 100 Phantom? It can't be like the new Phantom that that you're so passionately covering, Larry.
If
There's
Phantom,
no way.
Yeah, the top 100. We Max and I both know the top 100 spell with an F, the Phantom with an F, and I'm just pouring some more water here because I can't believe the craziness of that. Look, if Elon Musk was behind this project, we'd all know about it because he would give us a clue on Twitter, and then all he has to do is just sneeze, and then everybody wants to create sneeze Inu, and everyone's going to buy it just because he sneezed. But obviously we would have heard about this, and the chart wouldn't have $8,000 in volume today in the last 24 hours. So I mean, I think he might just be like pulling my leg, or maybe just kind of beating the drum. But it's going to take more than the comments on this channel, to get the word out. It needs to get out with major influencers or an army of a bunch of small ones.
No, you're absolutely right in regards to that, because I mean, at the end of the day, there's going to be a certain level of hype, and then that's going to create a certain level of transparency where the community is engaging it and so on. So,
I mean, yeah, right now what's going on with Phantom on the chart is just scary. Like that level of scary, screaming. So thank you to everybody that's joined us here. Let's see, Luna, you want to talk a little bit about Luna 1 real quick, and then maybe we'll start to wrap things up here. We've been going a long time, almost 2 hours. If you want to talk briefly about it, is the pre-sale still going on, Max? Just a point of clarification on that.
Yeah, no problem. So first of all, I mean, if you can actually maybe just go to my channel for a second.
Yep. Okay. Let me
sorry about that, adjusting the chair. So for instance, you guys, I'm going to go to Luna 1's site real quick, and unfortunately the I'll make sure you guys can hear me. The pre-sale is over in regards to Luna 1, but that doesn't mean that there isn't any incentives in regards to Luna 1. There is still a few incentives. I'm just actually going to pull this up real quick.
If you guys haven't subscribed to Max, his link is in the description. He's got Maximus Crypto and also a gaming channel. You can see there's the video he made recently on Luna 1 7 days ago.
Yeah, that's the one that's basically stating, it says miss the pre-sale. There's a 30% buying bonus. That buying bonus is over with. However, the good news is it just went down slightly. It's at 28% buying bonus. This is going to last for 1 day and 1 hour left on that. I'm sure it's going to dip down again. But nonetheless, I just want to state this. I am in no way sponsored by Luna 1 or anything like that. I know some people ask me that. I'm not. It's just I like the idea that they are an all-in-one metaverse. Now, the first video I covered, it says, was it 9 days ago or more than that? I don't know. The one with 1.5K views. Far right side where it says, it's just kind of like what you see in the thumbnail. It says Ready Player Luna 1. And the cool thing about that is, if you ever seen the movie, for instance, Ready Player One, what I like about Luna 1 is it's kind of like a one-stop shop for the metaverse, if you will. So, I mean, for instance, not on this video, but if you actually pull up their site, Larry, all right, I guess you are on the site, my bad. Or is that from my video?
This is from your video. I can pull up the site if you want. Yeah,
because it's just a lot more clear because it doesn't come in as clear. But my point is, they have some partnerships. I mean, you guys can all more than welcome to check out my video and all that. I go more in depth in it, but I will point out a few things, guys, and that is this. So you have certain metaverse plays in which they're stating like, yeah, we're trying to get this partnership and we got that partnership. For instance, Metopolis. I always cover Metopolis because that's another really good metaverse play. And I want to just state this before I get too far ahead of myself, and that is this. when it comes to these metaverse platforms, it's kind of like your portfolio when it comes to crypto. You don't want to just be all in one thing. I mean, you can be. That's not how I'm doing it. But for me, it's like last year was, you know, I had got invested in a few different community-driven projects, whether it's Shiba Inu or, you know, some of these other ones. But for me, this year, it's definitely the metaverse, because it's, at the end of the day, like I've always said, I truly believe that what's going to cause our overall crypto market to go back up to past 3 trillion, like it was at the end of 2021, is not necessarily the things going on in DeFi and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. All that stuff is great. But what is going to really significantly cause it to get back to its all-time highs on the overall crypto market is what? It's the metaverse. And you already kind of see that going on as we speak. For instance, Facebook rebranded themselves to Meta. I mean, it's just all out there. So literally trillions, and I know it's a big number, trillions of dollars are going to be exchanged, and it's going to be mainly due to the metaverse. So for me personally, that's what catches my attention. Yeah, I'm a gamer and so on, but what I love about Luna One is it's an all-in-one, like a one-stop shop, if you will. Not just for gaming. I get it. Not everybody is into gaming, and there's a false perception of metaverses are just focused on gaming, and they're not. So if you go to Luna One, you can either watch my video. By all means, watch my video and so on. I do I guess you could say, not really a review, but it's kind of like an in-depth look into the project, and you're going to see that. Like for instance, I've been an educator and so on. I used to be a teacher, and for instance, how would you like the idea of creating an immersive environment for your students, right? But like in the metaverse, as in like virtually speaking. So now, instead of a person just doing regular online learning, which let's face it, it can be kind of boring. I did online classes. A lot of us have. But heck, during the whole pandemic, everybody did for the most part. But the point is this: yeah, I understand. Some people like Zoom and so on, but gosh, man, like for instance, whether it's Metopolis or Luna One, you basically have this thing in which you can have like the most incredibly immersive educational platform, right? So it's like now kids, I say kids, students, whether they're college days or even, young kids and so on, now they can be, God forbid the pandemic comes back like way worse and so on, and it just everybody's online. But let's face it, that could be reality. So it's already depressing to begin with for kids to not be able to interact with other kids. But my point is, imagine an immersive environment in which can, to a certain degree, kind of replicate the social interaction of that. And that's what they're accomplishing here. It's not just from gaming. It's literally from the educational standpoint. And then on top of that, it's like how you do work meetings, for instance. It can be a little bit more immersive. And some people have that too, like, well, how can you realistically get such and such done? It's very appealing because it's like if you watch some of this stuff and you read about some of it, it's really, really cool what they got going on with Luna One. I'm just saying it's cool because it's a video I did. No, look into it for yourself. You'll see it for yourself. The partnerships that they have already established is tremendous. You have Coca-Cola. You already have Meta, aka Facebook. Excuse me. Some of the other ones. So from a gaming standpoint, some big players, right? You have Epic Games. They create the Unreal Engine 5. So for instance, Shiba Inu's metaverse / game is built on Unreal Engine 5, right? That's big right there. They already have that partnership. They already have Electronic Arts, EA, right? So if you played Madden, you played, like me, my other channel, right? DPGmaximus. I focus on playing like Battlefield 5 and stuff like that. So, I mean, you should know what Electronic Arts is for the most part, EA. Heck, even Activision / Blizzard is a partner. I could go on and on. So by all means, if you're interested in a one-stop shop for Metaverse, check them out. And as far as the graphics, are you kidding? Great graphics. It just looks like something like, man, they have they even have a trailer as we speak of like what it looks like in game. But yeah, when you guys get time, I realize we're all busy. Take a look at it if you want. You don't have to. But yeah, it was well received to say the least. And yeah, that's it as far as Luna 1 goes. Now, if you're wanting to get into it, again, there is that bonus. You're going to get an extra 28%. You're not going to get it for the pre-sale price. You're going to get the extra 28% that ends roughly in a day. And then, of course, another one I cover a lot. People even say to me, are you like the community manager for Metropolis? I just want to state, no, I am not. That's just a rumor that people stated. But I do cover Metropolis as well. Again, that is a project from the Zilliqa blockchain and so on. I think that is also a great project. Again, that is also on Unreal Engine 5. I did do a lot of coverage post or during and post the big Miami event that happened not that long ago in regards to Metropolis. But yeah, if you're looking to diversify your metaverse portfolio, definitely take a look into Luna 1 and Metropolis. Those are two I cover quite often, and mainly because I just think those are really cool platforms. Later on, I might cover more of the Shiba Inu's one and so on, but it just depends. I haven't seen enough, as you guys know. I'm sure you guys are into it too. There just haven't been enough coverage as far as like how it looks, other than that one video where they show the Shiba Inu dog. Don't get me wrong, that looks very well polished, but we need to see more of that. And already, like with Luna 1, there's tons of content that they really like showed from inside the metaverse and so on. So there you have it.
Yeah, thanks, Max. I have to tell you earlier, I wasn't laughing at you. I wasn't laughing at Luna 1. It's good to hear about Luna 1, but there's also a lot of distractions going on with the way my brain works with these funny comments coming in about Phantom. But getting back to Luna 1 real quick, I definitely agree with you about the metaverse in general. The metaverse, play to earn games is where it's at this year and probably going into next year as well. But I can't help but to respond to some of these comments here made by Abundant Cash Now that I'm forgive me for laughing, because I don't know if you can be taken seriously. People are waiting. Let's just stop right there. There is no waiting. Like when you want to buy something, just buy it. There is no waiting. Okay, so they're going to buy it for the giveaway. I know I saw on their Twitter that they have a 1 ETH giveaway. That's great, but why are people waiting to buy it? Just go ahead and buy it. If you feel so strongly about the project, then go ahead and buy it more yourself. But I mean, here's the thing. You can win you could probably up your odds by just buying the ETH. You'll probably be the only one buying it at that level. So Phantom has a huge marketing plans in the works. Again, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about their plan. They've had 4 months to plan about it. Look, the Japanese and everything are famous for planning, 10, 20 years in advance. Okay, so we can do all the planning we want. It's great to have plans. Without plans, without a plan, you're planning to fail. I get the idea behind marketing plan. Okay, look, I'm going to give you a 20-second marketing plan right now. In case you haven't figured it out and you're sitting around the campfire or you're sitting on your yacht or you're sitting on the golf course on the golf cart trying to determine what your plan is, here's what it is. The plan is to have someone active in Telegram that knows what the heck they're talking about. And the plan is to reach out to influencers on Twitter and YouTube, a whole bunch of them, and figure out what their rates are and get them to talk about your project. Pay them to promote your project. There's a good marketing plan for you. All right, so this one right here says, I think you're right. I'm really enjoying this stuff. The pandemic will come back. Look, right now I'm the number 3 influencer talking about Phantom, and that's only because there's only 2 others. Like, nobody's talking about it. And this low impact channel is having a big impact because you guys are coming here from the Telegram. So I love it. I love that I've rattled your cage, and I hope for your sake that you guys are going to actually get some real marketing and not just talk about planning about it. I think you're right. The pandemic will come back, which is why Phantom positioned themselves perfect for the new world. Cryptos who don't have a metaverse and social media platforms, 96% will fail. Okay. They're waiting because they want to be one of the biggest buyers. So seeing what other buyers come in, if they can beat it and they can win. Dude, like I'm about ready just to put an ETH in there just to spite you guys and then win the contest myself. And when they see my wallet come in, I have to I don't know what, put my wallet all over the place so no one can track it. And they see me come in, they're going to blacklist it anyway, and they're not going to let me win. But I mean, stop talking about they're waiting for this, they're waiting for the plan, and they're waiting to get into the contest. If you believe strongly in your project, you don't even need a contest. Now, contests are good, But let's just, stop kidding ourselves. Let's stop pretending that, like we're in denial here, All right. So I wish the golf course or a yacht. Yeah, absolutely. Look, guys, I'm not trying to beat up a project, but, at the same time, like, you have to be realistic. Look, when Saitama has troubles, or Saitama, I like to call it Saitama because that's the way I like to say it. If they have trouble with their app, I'm not going to say that their app is revolutionary and it works great, because there's issues with it, with the liquidity. If I'm going to come up here and like lie to myself, if I'm lying to myself and lying to the viewers, what good is it? I'm not going to be I, I'm not going to be. Do you want me to be fake with everybody or real? Do you want me to be like just a cheerleader? Like if I'm a cheerleader for the Dallas, if I'm a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader or a New York Giants cheerleader, or whatever team you're into, not saying I even like the Cowboys, but they have some nice cheerleaders. If I'm a cheerleader for one of these teams, I'm still going to be cheering for them when they're down 28-0. When my team is losing and getting killed and getting crushed in the fourth quarter, I still am going to be a cheerleader for them. But that's not how it works there on the show. Like, I have to be realistic, whether I'm invested in the project or not. So he's got a bunch of laughing emojis. And this one here says, you have to deliver in the space. Absolutely. You can't just be nobody else is going to be Dogecoin. Even Shiba Inu has to have utility now. I mean, like, let's get.
Well, you said this one here. That's Absolute Crypto. Shout out to you, Absolute Crypto, for supporting our channel. We have I have definitely noticed. I'm sure Larry has too. You've been supporting our channel, and I just saw that you recently followed us. Just want to say, really appreciate that. You've been bringing up quite a few questions, comments, concerns. You're very interactive with the show, and we really do thank people like yourself. So shout out to you, man.
Okay, so I think that Riz is a nice person, and I think he's much more organized than I am. But when it comes to marketing, he's not executing his plan. It doesn't take that long to figure it out. Like, there's no secret sauce to advertising and marketing in crypto. So if you win the giveaway, you're the ultimate warrior. Okay. Well, I'm not participating because we'll let somebody else win. I'm already done. I'm out of Phantom. It would take all the other cryptos would have to go away. The Phantom would have to be the last one standing for me to get into it at this point. So there you go.
Or $10 million tax free. Oh, yeah.
Thank you guys for the live. Yeah, absolutely. Absolute Crypto. So we appreciate you. I think you said that you're starting a YouTube channel when you start their channel, or before you started, or whatever happens. You're welcome to come on the show. Whether you want to put your face on here or not, doesn't matter. If you want to just talk. This is an uncensored platform, right? We just have a couple rules. We ask people to be respectful of each other. We ask people not to swear. And we ask people not to go into their local movie theater and yell fire. We don't censor people here. So this is an uncensored YouTube channel. Well, we just have a couple rules. All right. So, what do you think here, Max? Final thoughts on anything?
I would just state this. I mean, it's just, I know people are frustrated. I am too. I mean, the overall crypto market just seems like just keep going down and down and down, but it's not going to be that way forever. And if anything, do you realistically want to buy when everything is green? No, you want to wait till, at least that's my play. I'm not telling what people what to do, but crashes. Let's face it. If you had a certain amount, saved aside to get into crypto, I mean, my thing is this. I always kind of shake my head, I guess you could say, when I see these shows and, like the mainstream shows, and they're like, oh man, crypto is crashing, and oh, what a horrible time to get in. I'm like, what a horrible time to get in. Are you kidding? There's no more of a better time to get in, because at the end of the day, you want to see the highest rate of return on your investments. And that's just it. And like I've always mentioned before, rate of return, right? Or return on investment. So for instance, or risk to reward. That's my main thing. So the combination of those three things mentioned. So again, for me, I'm dollar cost average in XRP. Again, not financial advice, but I mean, come on. XRP is the lowest I've seen in a very long time. It's down to about roughly 58 cents. I'm just going off some of the ones that kind of catch my eye. So, XRP is a big one for me. you know, heck, even Tron, because everything, you know, look at what Tron's doing right now. Seriously. Again, near protocol with the whole thing with the, you know, pairing it up with US double D. I know it sounds crazy, double D's, right? But yeah, US double D and 30%, you know, APR. Again, that's not going to last forever. Now, I'm not going to say that, you know, you're going to get that 30% for the next 10 years straight or something like that. I'm not saying that. But at the same time, even if it lasted, let's say, half a year, or maybe it did a full year or something, are you kidding me? There's nothing else out there as we speak that's going to give us 30% on our stable coins. It's totally worth looking into. A lot of people, for instance, like me personally, thinking about, you know, like selling this house, for instance. Why? Because it's a seller's market. Absolutely is. Like we're having record highs in regards to that. I go out and I sell the house, for instance, and then if I can earn 30% on the principal by converting that into what, stable coin, right? Then that's like a huge amount of extra income I'm going to have. Yeah. Well, you know, if I only own one house, for instance, is that going to mean that I got to go rent? Well, yeah. But for some people, you know, it's like they're not going to be renting forever, right? It's like you go and you rent while it's still a seller's market temporarily. And then when it becomes a buyer's market, then you do what? Then you go and get your house. So again, I'm not financial advice or anything like that, but I would state this much. If I had two houses right now, it would be a no-brainer. You know, because at the end of the day, we got to have some place to live. But I'm just saying, I mean, there's so many good plays, even though the market is down. So it's like this whole thing with the stable coin, but near protocol. I know you want to wrap things up, and I can't blame you. It's just there's definitely buying opportunities left and right. Even Ape, I might get a position in an Ape. I mean, it's down at 12.51. I mean, someone wants to stand out. Filecoin, you know, for me, like Filecoin always stands out because let's face it, like if the market turns green, like let's say by next week we have a good week, Filecoin could literally go back up to like $22 within like 2 weeks. I already seen it happen. Like last month, I literally seen it. It was like roughly at like $16. The market turned green and it was back to like $21, $22. For people that are swing trading, are you kidding me? That's a great short-term play. Again, not financial advice, but we do try to get, you know, as the saying goes, put you guys on plays that we're in. So I'll just wrap it up with that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that, Max. So we're going to wrap it up. Guys, tune in tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll continue this discussion and we're going to talk about some new things. And if Abundant Cash Now wants to come on and talk about Phantom, we can do that. Or somebody else wants to come on and talk about Phantom, I'll be happy to listen. So, guys, thank you again. Also, Monday through Friday, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We want to wish you guys a good rest of your Saturday and spend your Sunday tomorrow, at least from 4 p.m. on, probably till 5:30 or 6 Eastern Standard Time. See us right here, same channel, same time as today. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, everybody.